The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, 20. Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
Mcafee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. More specifically, the Biltmore Hotel, the home of elite meetings. And it's Overreaction Monday. This program begins now. Sports are magical. We're the luckiest people on earth that we get a chance to cover sports every single day. And for another couple days here in the last month, we get a chance to head out here to the desert. And it was cold as hell back in Indianapolis, and we think that spring is about to sprung in Indiana. We hope that the coldness is behind us, but every time you come out here to beautiful Arizona, you can't help but think to yourself, wow, what a beautiful city. The weather seemingly hot as hell and perfect. And every time we come out here, something big's going on. Now, here in this hotel, right behind us, everybody in the league is here. Owners, GMs, head coaches, all the local media that we just walked into in a room or a building, I guess, on the other side. This is a celebration of sport and also a very integral part of the NFL season. They'll be voting on things in here. There'll be some rule changes happening in here. There'll be some decisions made in here, and there's a lot of people chatting about what the NFL is going to look like in the future. We have Carly Ursay-Gordon joining us, the owner of the Indianapolis Colts. Brandon Beane, the general manager of the Buffalo Bills, will be joining us. Peter Schrager, who might be the mayor of this place, will be joining us here in a matter of moments. In the second hour, we'll have Coach K joining us. We'll also have Braylon Mullins, the Indiana kid who splashed the 35 to 40-foot three yesterday for UConn to topple Duke. Duke once had a 19-point lead at halftime. They were up 15, and then Caden Boozer could have taken a foul. Instead, he throws it away. Mullins, freshman, 0 for 4, no more. Splash! Punch your ticket back to Indianapolis. UConn will be making it to the Final Four, toppling the #1 Duke squad. And once you see Hurley's parents react to the shot, it all makes a lot more sense. Dan Hurley's mom looks exactly like Dan Hurley.
Yep.
She actually says, holy fucking shit. And then Dad goes, whoa, we won. And then there's a video of what Dan Hurley did through this entire time. Well, he obviously swagging a little bit. And then how you doing? Keep moving. Ref trying to talk to him. He said, what's that?
Let's ask him a question.
Whoa. What's that, you said? What's that? Hey, I heard you you try to get us. You were a Duke fan all day. What? How, you like me now? Some people say maybe that was a technical foul.
Maybe.
Some people say maybe Duke goes to the line there. 0.3 seconds left. Knock it down. All of a sudden, Duke steals the victory to the Final Four, and Dan Hurley's antics are the reason why. But instead, that ref was just trying to talk to Dan Hurley. Our source have told us that Dan could not hear what he was saying, so he just leaned in, happened to go forehead to forehead with a guy he has a lot of respect for, the guy has respect for him, understands the magical moment is happening. Ref says, hey, we got 0.3 seconds left. And he walks away. But could you fathom?
Oh, my God.
Man, could you fathom?
Yeah, I could.
If that dang, all of a sudden Shire's like, isn't this a funny little turn of events? Sends their shooter to the line, got to shoot 2, down 1. What a moment. Their first one falls. Dan Hurley's sitting over there. Oh, no. Second one falls, and they get the ball back. Inbound, throw up. UConn no longer in the Final Four. Duke, the #1 overall seed who everybody hates, moves on because of an incidental potential contact with forehead to forehead from the head coach.
Conversation.
But instead, doesn't matter. Braylon Mullins hits one of the greatest shots in the history. 19-point comeback for UConn as they punch their ticket. They're not the only ones. Obviously, Michigan beat the absolute dog shit out of Tennessee. I mean, that was a pounding. It was kind of bad for March Madness.
From beginning to end. Yeah, due for one of those.
It was kind of bad for March Madness, but Michigan does their thing. Arizona beats Purdue. Now, that's another one. Hey. Arizona's a problem.
It's a good ball club.
Arizona's an absolute problem. Cannot wait to watch them. In Illinois, those itches are good.
Mm-hmm.
Those itches are good up there in Illinois. I don't. It's personal preference. I don't like orange.
Sure. Okay.
I just don't like the color.
Sure.
So I think since birth, I'm not supposed to like the way they look sometimes because there's a lot of orange up there.
Yep.
But the way they play hoops, I love it. Lil Stojakovic.
Oh,
filthy. This guy is awesome. This guy is awesome. Love the way they're playing. They got a kid from Indiana as well with the ponytail. Love everything about that. And then obviously Illinois knocks out Iowa, which obviously sends the Hawkeye fans into massive heartbreak. Yeah. So we got a chance to cover everything. And Braylon Mullins joining us. I believe Coach Hurley will be on tomorrow with us. Cannot wait to get a follow-up with him about the forehead-to-forehead. But who cares? 19-point comeback. He never wavered. That's great coaching. That's good culture. We now have our Final Four in Indianapolis. We cannot wait to be there. Now, let's turn our attention to the place in which we are. It's not just me here. And shout out to the entire crew that pieced this together in a parking lot in Arizona. It was 195 degrees. Okay. Lady named Holly, who's at basically every single show.
Yeah.
Yesterday's bit brew. I won't let you know. Yesterday was a bit brew. Scott, Cajun man, who's on the jib. Scott is an incredible talent. He's one of our guys now. He was on jib from Louisiana, hot as hell down there. He goes, boy, yesterday about 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
We were cooking out here. So thank you to everybody for your hard work to make this happen. We're lucky to be here. It's not just me. Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Conman League meetings here. We're out front of this building. Shout out to the NFL for letting us do this. Shout out to the ESPN folks for piecing this whole thing together. Fosso getting us invite. We're actually credentialed now. Okay.
Love that.
Credentialed to be here, which is great news. A lot of news coming out of here, though, Conman. A lot of people talking right now.
Yeah, it feels like everyone's very comfortable being out here, which makes sense just because of how nice it is. But to your point about everyone talking, Bob Kraft, he's already kind of been out there. Hey, look, we're doing 18 games. We're doing 2 preseason games. Those don't mean anything. Don't even why we're doing 2, and we're doing 2 bye weeks. So the marching orders, it seems, is, hey, get ready because this 17-game thing is cute. 18 games is going to be even better.
Carly Ursay-Gordon, she came out this morning, and whenever she spoke as well, same thing, like the 18 games. Talked about the health and safety, though, of the players, but also talked about the importance of preseason and ramping up during training camp about building a team. Remember, Carly Ursay-Gordon, boots on the ground for all of this. I think she literally has only learned through players, coaches' perspective and how she should be running an operation. Has to make a lot of decisions. Her, Kaylin, and Casey, obviously, at the helm of this thing. But she came out with the 18 game as well. It does feel like there's hey, NFL fans, we know what you want.
You love ball, right?
Hey, and if we add a bye week, that's 2 more weeks of ball. Okay, and now you got J.C. Treader, the new executive chairman of the NFLPA, going to have to kind of figure out how this deal is going to get done, how much more money, what are they going to give up, what are they going to take. That's always the back end of it all, is the negotiation, especially with the CBA. But it feels like 18 games is inevitable. An extra bye is probably inevitable. So that's 2 more weeks of primetime games that they can sell.
Love it.
Okay, Conman loves it. You add those at the end of the season, too, whenever college is doing its 2-month off thing. That's Saturday night. That's Saturday afternoon. That's Sunday afternoon. That's
Friday
Sunday night. You could potentially roll that thing into Friday. I mean, there is a lot of massive money to be made off of 2 more weeks of primetime. So you can see why that is a point of emphasis here. Also talking about the refs. Let's go to one half of the Hammer. Cowboys, AP Tone. Good to see you. You're glowing.
Good to see you. Thank you.
You're glowing out here.
Thank you.
2 chains, but you got you a few on.
Yeah.
Sunglasses look spectacular. Really good look for you here at the league meeting.
Baseball's had a real effect on me as of late. I saw a couple of pitchers wearing necklaces similar to this, so I decided to throw those on and do that. And once you're out in Arizona, you just got to feel it, baby.
Yeah, you can. If you can feel it.
You can chase it.
Yeah, that's right. Feels like you've got 2 different movies going on right now in your life, but I appreciate that you're doing that. And I do like that you kind of just blend in with whatever you're watching. That sleeve right there is because the World Cup.
Yeah, it is. And then I watched Peaky Blinders movie last night. I started this morning with an accent. It eventually came out.
Smoking cigs today?
Yeah, probably going to smoke a couple cigs after the show today.
And going to have to do it?
Yeah, have to.
Yeah, this is spectacular to
I'm a chameleon.
Isn't it crazy we're out here, though?
It's insane. I was walking in there. You know, I saw Mr. Conkey. I saw Mr. Kraft. And then, Ryan Poles was walking. Everybody is here. And that was just when I was taking a shit. Like, they're everywhere around here.
Yeah, and to go to take a shit, remember, you got to walk by all the billionaire security.
Yep, exactly.
Because you got every billionaire here has their own security. You got dogs out here. You got league security. You got This place is pretty crazy. Very lucky to be credentialed. There's a man that we have working for us on this particular thing that has a calf tattoo and a wrist
Brace.
Wrist guard.
Almost like a bowling brace.
and also an elbow brace. This guy, I'm happy he's on our team.
Wet.
Yeah.
And these billionaires need to know that if this fucking guy's here, nothing's getting past.
Yeah.
So we are thankful that he is on our team, and somebody's going to tell him we were just talking about him, and we will expect him to take on any bad guys that come in here. 9-year NFL vet, one of the smartest dudes I've ever talked to, and that you've ever heard talk about ball. Darius J. Butler's here.
Baby,
D-Butch, let's talk very quickly here. Refs potentially being called in from New York is getting voted on here. 18-game season seemingly getting really pressed in this particular time. The Ref Association negotiation is going to be a big part of, hey, we're not talking about it here, because it feels like it's getting very real. There's even a thought that they're going to start hiring replacement refs soon so that they can give them like a crash course and basically not screwing up a $1 billion league. D-Butch, your thoughts on everything that's kind of being chatted about both the 18-game season and the refs' relationship with the NFL?
Yeah, obviously we need the ref situation taken care of. Obviously for the fans, just the product that we watch, and then the product that people are betting their hard-earned money on. You want the best in the business out there on the field. But as far as the 18 games go, whenever I hear news like this, my first thought is obviously players with the health and safety element and the component of it, adding that extra game. Are we going to have more players injured? Are we going to have more quarterbacks injured when it's time to get into the playoffs where the games really matter? But, where I am now, sitting here in this chair and talking to Mike,
Exactly.
the extra game, the extra money for the players, all those things are obviously important as well. So, but like Conman said, they kind of got their marching orders. They're kind of always in lockstep, these owners. So it will get done. I just hope it gets done in the best way possible, the safest way possible. That extra bye week could obviously be huge and everything else that comes along with it. But, extra football, if the games are good, which we assume they will be, and obviously the different packages and different partners that'll be out there, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's not like expansion conversation with the NBA different because, is there enough good players?
Yeah.
For the teams? Is there enough good teams right now? Because we're watching NBA games, and it's very clear that
The answer is no.
Yeah, there's 8 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So expansion, your immediate question is, do we have enough? Like when the NFL went through expansion, I assume the big question is, do we have enough good quarterbacks to have more teams? Because if we don't have enough good quarterbacks, all of a sudden we're the USXFL. Russ Dick put on a hell of a show.
Yes,
That is
he did.
true.
As always.
Yes, he certainly did. So more games, you think, do you have enough talent for that? Yes. Will people be able to hold up? That's the huge question. That's why there's so many different clauses coming out. Like maybe players other than quarterback can only play 17 games in a season, so there's mandatory some sort of body management. It's like, well, how do you pick and choose when you're going to have Myles Garrett on the field? When you're not going to have Myles Garrett on the field? Maybe it's over a certain payroll. You got to play certain games because then it becomes part of negotiations. I have no idea. But the attrition of the league is certainly one that will be talked about. That's why the health and safety is so important.
Yeah.
Anytime you hear an owner come out and speak about this, they're going to say, health and safety is the only
I
thing.
just want my players to be okay.
First things
Health
first.
and safety, please. Now, on that note, these preseason games, they're not really hitting each other, right? So we can get rid of a couple of those.
Practice is out.
What do they practice? They don't need to practice, do they? Get them out. We don't need to practice. We're getting 2 more primetime games. Remember that. That's what we're getting billions of dollars here. We don't need any of this stuff. And then you get rid of all that stuff because you want more of this stuff. And all of a sudden, this stuff actually is what calluses you so you don't get hurt. It's
Yeah.
almost like there's a potential zoom in conversation about, well, we need to get rid of stuff because that's where they get hurt. It's like, well, what if that's actually saving them from getting hurt in the future? So you need that. So how they end up getting to 18 games with an extra bye, I have no idea. I don't. It feels like that's going to be a lot of conversation, a lot of discussion. But us as football media, we appreciate it. Speaking of being football media, we would like to say we are doing some super journalism here. The league invited us here. The league gave us credentials here.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think they provided us with the water and
Nice.
refreshments here today.
Really?
AC.
So I would like to say we will be stern but fair with these ref
Yeah.
association negotiation.
Right down the
doubt.
middle.
On that, we'll be fair with both sides.
Yeah, fair balanced.
I can't be having a face mask end the game on Thursday Night Football and lose the bet because of that, and then not have to hear from the ref and not have any accountability, and that ref not get fired, and that ref not have to get better in the spring, and that ref be able to disappear after a Super Bowl without having to talk about anybody. Okay? We can't have that. On that note, can't have the refs getting shortchanged by the NFL. They are a very important part of the entire game. You ask any player or coach, they would say the refs are the thing that you got to get figured out the most. People's asses have gotten fired. Legacies have been ruined. Families have not been able to fulfill build their entire dreams of being at the very top of the football world because they've had a couple bad calls go against them and inevitably get their asses kicked out of the league. So I know that the refs are very important. The refs know they're very important, but we also need to evolve a little bit here, refs.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay? Because I don't know if you're seeing what's going on in baseball. We need that.
Oh, love it.
Hey, baseball's new to us. Me. I don't speak for everybody.
Me too.
You can say us. I'm in there as far as day to day.
Not these guys. These guys.
These two guys
They're both
just
locked
bought
in.
mitts yesterday because they heard they
So nice.
bought 2 new mitts.
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm new to the baseball, okay? So I like what they're doing over there.
Love it.
We got shorter games. We got bats getting flipped. We got outfielders pimping robbed home runs. And now we got catchers who I assume since the beginning of baseball have been telling umps that they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I assume these catchers and umps have been having a conversation about the strike zone since the beginning of baseball.
Uh-huh.
And the ump is always the authority.
That's
Okay?
right.
So catcher always has to come on. And the ump goes, "Oh, is that? Why don't you shut up?" Catcher throws it back.
Mm-hmm.
Frames one, calls a ball. Come on, dude. Guy goes, "Hey, I don't need any of your shit." Now, this is incredible.
Yeah.
4 straight pitches, I do believe, or 3 straight pitches. Catcher going right after, hike, ball. Is that right?
Yeah.
Fucking run it on the Jumbotron. So now the entire place, 40,000 people
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
are watching. Salvi. Congrats to him, by the way.
Yeah.
Baby Salvi.
Ponche,
Baby Salvi.
Venezuela. He did it with them. He was a great leader. He got it tattooed on his thigh.
Yeah.
Winning the World Baseball Classic. Boom. Just like I said. Puts the helmet back down. Sits back down. Next pitch. Poof. Ball. Oh, we're doing this again, it seems. All right. Run that thing. Hey! This guy goes undefeated against this ump.
Yeah.
This ump now has to sit here
Oh, yeah.
and take this entire thing. They've never had to do that in the history of baseball, right?
No.
The umps have always been the utmost.
Yeah, the final arbiter.
That's why that Dominican Republic game where the ball was so low and he called a strike. What baseball people said, the ump just gets to do whatever he wants. Now they're getting publicly executed by these catchers. I love it. Boy, these umps are going to hate this, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But it should, and I don't even know if you can say it's going to hold them accountable because I think guys kind of just have their zones and they're going to get killed either way. But, CB Buckner, who they were talking about during the Reds and Red Sox game, I think he had 6 or 7.
Reds win
phone
5 for
calls.
5.
Yeah, exactly. So, that obviously, that might make them say, hey, this guy can't be umping behind the plate. But it really has added a new element to the game because it's not only the catchers are, mostly the ones who are challenging stuff, but sometimes, the pitchers have been going off the mound and challenging it, too. It kind of just, it ratchets up everything. We saw our first ejection related to it yesterday. So, it's one of those things where they were wondering how this was going to end up faring. And I think through, 1 week of the season or a couple days here, it has been a rousing success.
There's a guy that basically pimped a walk. He got called strike 3. He challenges right away
Azarina.
and then starts, Rosarina. He starts walking down the first baseline, takes off while they're still reviewing it,
Moxie.
taking off, his ankle, shin guard, whatever, taking off his gloves, the whole entire thing. And then by the time he's on his way to first base, ABS comes in. Yep, that was a ball. So it's almost as if you can pimp walks now as well. It's sweet.
I love that. And now these refs are kind of in the negotiation with the NFL, and we're seeing what's going on in baseball. That's going to be a fascinating dynamic.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think every fan really enjoyed watching the ump be wrong publicly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would assume every player in the history of professional sports who's ever been bamboozled by an officiating call saw this ABS and said, yes, this is everything that we love. Speaking of everything that we love, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a guy who is might be the mayor of this entire place. He's a man who knows everything about everything, Peter Schrager. Good to see you, Shreg. This is yours, bro. Thank you for coming. You look unbelievable.
What up, Shregs?
I like the sunglasses.
The mayor.
Make sure that wire is in.
How's that look?
I think your wire's up in your microphone there. You got to go under, I think, the other way.
Amateur hour.
Just throw it over your right shoulder.
Yeah. Like a continental show.
There we go. Like a movie star.
He's a movie star. That a baby Shrek.
Peter Schrager, maybe the mayor of league meetings here. Shregs, thank you for joining us. Great to see you. Thank you for the recommendation of the pizza place last night.
Let's talk about it.
Dude, Mr. Bianco, Paisan Bianco from Pizzeria Bianco last night. In the end of a plaza, like a shopping mall. Walk in there, unbelievable.
You got a Twin Peaks, you got a Massage Envy, you got a few things. We walk right into a
everything you need.
shopping mall, strip mall. Pizzeria Bianco, Chris Bianco, the chef, one of the greatest pizzas you'll ever have. And Pat, I loved having dinner with you guys.
It was an honor. We had no plans, and then all of a sudden you had plans, and it was like, Yeah, we will do your plans. So we're very thankful for that. Cool. The pizza was spectacular. Let's talk about you understanding that and also knowing this place better than anybody. You told me that the NFC coaches will be sitting in there and we could go in there because we're credentialed media and get an interview with them. That place was packed out. But we're getting quotes from everybody right now. This feels like a big time for the quote getters of the NFL.
You only get so many times in the offseason to speak to these coaches. Typically it's the combine, but they can opt out of that. They have to speak at the league meetings. And if you see this room, it is a monstrosity of media all over the different coaches, but they each have their own table. And there's a couple rules as unspoken ones. It's a 30-minute session. You get in there, you ask a few questions, you let others talk. But one thing that I'm always disgusted by, it's a 30-minute breakfast session, and some of the reporters feel the need to bring in their eggs and just shovel food in their mouth for 30 minutes.
Yeah, because you're showing respect to the event.
Of course, but do you need to be eating your fruit plate and your berries and then worse off the syrup with the pancakes in front of the coach? No, you don't do that. You dress in a shirt and tie or at least a jacket, and some guys didn't. But you know what, Pat? There's a lot of great quotes, and we get some information. You guys are obviously.
Yeah, we should have shown a little bit more respect to the room. I have a bathing suit shorts on right now, okay, because I didn't pack enough good clothes. Sure. It is so hot out here. I don't know how you suits do it, to be honest, out here. The suits of Arizona.
Hats off.
This is a mental tough group out here.
No doubt.
Suits out here, for sure, with how hot it gets. Okay, let's talk about some of the quotes that come out. McVay came and said, we were thinking about trading Devontae. Yeah. Devontae knew about it the entire time. Feels like McVay has always been super transparent about everything that he's thinking.
Well, he said he's learned. He said, I wasn't always this way when I was younger, and I've learned that the best thing to do is just come to the player right away and tell them straight up, hey, yes, there are conversations being had. Devontae Adams, 33-year-old player. He's been to 5 NFC championship games. They knocked on the door. They love Devontae Adams. But he said, people have called about you, your contract situation. We have had conversations, but we love you, and we just wanted to let you know, if you heard it from a third party, that we have had those conversations. I think that's the way to go about it. I think if you'd go early in his career, he was a big-time swapper, big-time trader. Maybe he didn't handle the Jared Goff situation the best way possible.
You're talking about in Mexico diner with Jake Glaze. They were jumping into hot tubs with Andrew Whitworth.
Celebrating with Spain and all this stuff. Not necessarily the best way to go about it. So he's just I'm always going to be up front. I'm always going to do that. Now, one thing that McVay did, I was at that table for a while, which I thought was pretty funny. He walks off the table, and everyone says, all right, we're wrapping up. His PR guy, Artist, says, we're wrapping up. He goes out of his way to go by the Seattle table, sees Mike McDonald, and they're not best friends, but they're competitors. And he's like, did you ask him about that 2-point conversion play? And just kept on walking. And all the Seattle reporters were like, Rrr, and McDonald said something in return. But that's
good chirp.
Good rivalry and a good chirp from two boys from Georgia.
Yeah, very young, very offensive guy, very defensive guy. I love that that's cooking in the NFC West. That room was filled with everybody that hates our guts. That is the We Are Journalists room, if I've ever seen it. Fun time walking around there.
Did they give you dirty looks, though? No, everyone embraces, right?
Yeah.
Hugs all around.
Yeah, that's how it goes, Shrinks. And I am very just I forgot what you said. I'm very much like that. Yeah, I think that's a good thing. I don't think I fully realized that about this place. Yeah, what we signed up for here, I don't think I fully understood who we're going to be around as much as we're going to be around.
Good learning experience.
Yeah, it's a good learning experience.
Every coach, every GM, every owner, every coach, GM owner's family, and then you also have every working journalist that is credentialed here. So it's this giant convention, but there's no players, no agents, and there are league officials, which is why you're getting a lot of that league news this week.
Yeah, I missed that last one, the every credentialed journalist in the league. I missed that last one when I was going through the box to check of how many people were going to be here. But I thought we were getting some special access.
No doubt.
Turns out we got an awesome set, though.
Yeah, we did.
Very, very grateful for it. Very, very grateful for it. But I did not expect to walk in that room. D-Bud has a question for you.
Shrakes, what's your feel so far on this referee deal? Do you think it's going to get done? How is it going to get done? Are we going to actually have replacement refs in the NFL coming up?
Well, I'll tell you, this is the behind the scenes a little bit. Everyone in the league got a memo saying, don't talk publicly if you're a team official about this. Let's leave this for 48 hours. Don't have any comments. Try to dismiss. That was from the league, a memo from them. So already you feel like, okay, well, then that means tensions are heightened. And then you got some talking points that everyone got. The same people that always get all those same information, they all got the same information about what the league has opened up as far as conversations go. And then Scott Green, who's the officials union leader, he came out and was like, that's BS. Here is this, and this. So it's very public right now. Everyone's kind of chirping back and forth. But the league learned its lesson in 2012 when they went through the replacement ref situation. A lot of those people were unprepared. So I would not be shocked if you see some D1, D2, D3 officials getting a little bit of extra work maybe during training camp or potentially during OTAs at these teams just to see if we can get those balls in motion if this thing doesn't come to be.
Not actual D1 or D2 refs, though.
No?
It would not be.
This would be the
D3 in high school. Because none of the D1 refs think those still going to make the NFL, so they're not going to piss off the refs.
Interesting.
Yeah, you got to remember that.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're not going to. Anybody that thinks they're going to be able to make it to the NFL as a ref will not do it because they don't want to scab.
They're crossing the picket line like the 87 NFL draft.
That's real, yeah. Sure. Yeah, that's a real thing.
Think about that.
Yeah, that's why. Do you know?
I haven't thought of that.
Do you know how I know?
Shane Falco.
Because I was I was in the league whenever the last ones happened.
2011.
And these assholes had no idea what they were doing, like clearly. And I had a couple chatters, with a couple of them. Just like, hey, how'd we get
They were usually like high school gym teachers.
How do we get here? Literally, how'd we get here? And they're like, well, to be honest, I know I'm not reffing in the NFL, so I wasn't really prepared to kind of ruffle the feather.
Let's do it.
You're right. It's a breeding ground, the college game. They take the best college officials and they bring them to the NFL. That's a great point. You don't want to be a scab. You don't want to have that on your resume.
Yeah, and all those refs are there for 100 years, which is a part of the thing that the NFL wants to change. Is like, hey, you don't just get a job and keep it forever.
It's not a Supreme Court justice.
Yeah, if you suck, you need to be fired. Which I think is being part of. Now, granted, the NFL Ref Association can come out and say, we do fire people. It's like, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, you don't.
You've been big on the ex-player movement, though.
Yes.
And I think a lot of there's a few of them, and they have been highlighted. I did a Monday night game, Texans versus Seahawks, where there was an ex-player official who kept JSN on the sideline.
Nate Jones.
That was great.
Nate Jones.
Nate Jones, former player, right? So was he a teammate or no?
No, Rutgers guy.
Rutgers guy, that's right. But that is an interesting pipeline of maybe you don't have to go through, and we can kind of.
And also, we hope the refs understand that they are valuable, and we hope the association does that for them.
And how hard their job is.
Yes, we understand that, but also we need to make this best for the game. Okay, last question for you as we have an owner waiting for us. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Shregs. McVay also brought up Kirk Cousins as potentially a backup to Matt Stafford. I know there's been rumors about him maybe going to Raiders to bring in Mendoza. Is he viewed as a backup now, do you think, or is there potentially other places where he could still be?
I think you get the carousel and you fill the seats, and Kirk Cousins is not going to do a 1-year, $1 million deal. He still wants to get paid. The Rams, of course, have a history with him. Sean McVay had him in Washington way back when he first had those breakout years and they were franchise tagging him. I think it makes a lot of sense, and if you're Kirk Cousins, this is exactly what you want to hear because everyone just assumes you're going to the Raiders. Well, now you can have a little leverage play and say, well, I could actually play for a contender and finally get that ring instead of just mentoring Mendoza. So very good opportunity for Kirk Cousins when you have two teams that are viably looking for you, and I don't think McVay is just saying that. I think he would actually love to have him in the team.
Biggest news that we haven't brought up to you yet that you have heard right now as you get out of here.
OBJ possibly a return to the Giants. We just spoke with John Harbaugh. He said he's one of his favorite players he has ever coached, one of his favorite people he's ever coached. And also at that flag football deal, OBJ was going and telling anyone in the media who could possibly have a microphone that he still believes he can play. So you think about the Giants, they lost Wan'Dale Robinson. Of course, they have Malik Neighbors coming back from the injury, a fellow LSU wide receiver. I think that would be a wonderful, wonderful bookend to OBJ's career, who has a Super Bowl ring with the Rams, and yet it ended so weird with the Giants the first time around. He is a superstar and a supernova in that city. It would be pretty cool to see him back.
Now, you are obviously a journalist. You have no bias, but you would like the Giants to have success?
Yes. It would be good for the league. It would be good for me in New York. They've been an irrelevant franchise with that one Daniel Jones miracle season.
You remember you said Malik Neighbors was better than Terry
McLaurin. Yeah, McLaurin. You guys said I was crazy. I still think he's better than Terry McLaurin.
What, like at the combine, like when he's running?
Yeah, but
like
what big
on
games
the football field?
What's he actually?
What big games?
We think he has a chance.
He has
a chance.
Oh, yeah,
Malik Neighbors was a second-year player. Terry McLaurin was 30. I think that you're looking at, like, what are you getting over the next 10 years, and what are you getting over the next two contracts?
No, that was not the conversation.
That's not.
Your conversation was that he was better than Terry McLaurin.
Did Terry McLaurin light up the league after making all that money?
Oh, jeez. What
big games did Mendoza win?
All right. Hey, Dano, smart move, Dano.
By the way, Dano owning it.
He ended it.
Smart move.
Yeah.
Over now.
Yeah.
Smart move.
I know it wants me to join.
Hey, we appreciate the hell out of you. Ladies and
Thank you,
gentlemen,
Greg.
ESPN Emmy winner.
Yeah.
And now NFL Live and our show, I believe, Emmy nominated again.
Wow.
Pierce.
That baby.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you for that pizza last night. That was
excellent.
Delicious.
That was
That was delicious.
Ty was a little boozed up. This guy.
No, he wasn't.
No.
Thank you.
Ty was a little boozed
We were
up.
talking comedy, weren't we?
Mocktail.
Oh, we were.
Who's your
We
favorite?
certainly were. All right, come on.
I'm a Dave Attell guy.
Yeah,
We
come on,
talked
come
about
on,
that.
come on, come on.
All right, we got an
Insomniac
actual
is great.
real
Yeah,
person
please,
coming.
please. And you were trying to take this somewhere it should not. Yeah. Unbelievable conversations at dinner last night. Ty was doing the loudest, fakest New York Italian accent he could in front of this guy that owns the restaurant.
Now that's comedy.
Hey, how you doing? Screaming in this place. The guy's right behind him. Ty goes, oh, sorry, how you doing? And I shakes his hand. It was a good time.
And what'd he say?
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, owner of the Indianapolis Colts, Carly Ursay-Gordon.
Hey.
Thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you. Handshake for me, hug for D-Butts. Standard operation. How you doing, boss?
Great. How are you?
Thank you for joining us. We're kind of your thing now. Hey, Debo, you hold that so it
Yep.
doesn't roll out. Yeah, don't fall off. Hey, seriously, cannot have that. You cannot be dying here. That cannot happen.
That'd be bad for the show.
That'd be bad for the show. That'd be really bad for the program. That'd be bad for a lot of things. I think it'd be bad for the NFL as well. You can't die here. Yeah, you can put those on. Whichever year you would like. I like that. So why'd you go with the right ear? I am intrigued to hear the. Okay, guys. So you went on your right side. I like the way you're
You
thinking.
know, she
Smart.
knows the way around the head.
Absolute.
Yeah, she
This
does.
is loud.
Do you want to lower?
Yeah.
How's that?
It's like the voice of God.
Yeah, see, that's what we're trying to do around here, trying to get that all happen. Congratulations on being a badass here at this.
Absolutely.
Not that you weren't before, but now real conversations are happening and your quotes are going viral. Anything you say now at this point, because you are face of league at this point, is going to be a massive conversation. This morning, 18-game conversation went viral after a conversation you had. Robert Kraft also mentioned it. It feels like it's been lingering, over the last couple of years. Do you think that's a main focal point of the conversations here this week, or what are you guys basically trying to get done, you think, at this particular league meetings?
So I think we went to the 17-3 model. Obviously since then we've been having that conversation because it's hard to remember and it's a little wonky. AFC one year, NFC the other. It's hard to plan for revenue, and you have one less home game and all of those things. So I think an even number would be nice to get to. And obviously, I think the preseason product, as far as we always are thinking about what is best for our fans, and the commissioner's been open that the preseason product isn't quite what it used to be, and I still think the players need it for some development if the coach actually plays them. But
yeah, well, I'm excited to see what Shane Steichen does, and you're down there. Maybe you send some guys in there as well for the preseason games. So if it goes to 18 games, it'll go to another bye week. Obviously, that'll be an exciting time for us as fans. We get 2 more weeks of awesome football, which is spectacular. The league's hotter than it's ever been. You guys understand that, I would assume, whenever you're chit-chatting in there? Or what are the conversations like behind the scenes amongst you owners about where the state of the league is right now?
Well, we just left the session with the guy from YouTube that's in charge of trends, which would be a fascinating job. That would be an amazing job. It would be a hard job, I think. But, the Thanksgiving games, having, 50+ million viewers for that Thanksgiving game is that's amazing. Just seeing the success of the Super Bowl and every year, we just keep raising the bar. So I think we're just continuing to focus on, as my dad would say, give the fans what they want and paying attention to what's important to them, how it's evolving. It's such a, when I was a kid, my grandmother she was a diehard fan, and she would have people in her suite. And if people were kind of getting up and milling around and eating food, she's like, "You didn't come here to eat my free food. You need to sit down and watch. You just missed this play. You need to sit in your seat right now." So I think we have those avid fans that like that, but then we also have people where our game is such a unifying experience.
Community.
And just hearing from fans about, I met my wife here, or just the memories that they have with their kids and the traditions that they carry on. I mean, even for us, it's so many of my memories growing up, Christmases in Arizona because we were playing there, or, when we hit that playoff game in the Kansas City Chiefs, and just being able to travel with my dad. And, we didn't have the same kind of Christmas break, which when I was little, it was that kind of sucked.
Yeah, well,
Like, we don't
Thanksgiving,
get to go
Christmas,
skiing.
New Year's. Yeah, there is. All the fall holidays are much different for a football group. But NFL is now, just a part of culture. It's just part of society. They have the 100 top rated TV things. The NFL has 94 of them or 95 of them every single year. You guys are crushing it. Your league is crushing it. Let's talk about your team. Last question from me before the boys have some about all the badass shit that you're going to be doing in here. Daniel Jones and Alec Pierce, let's go.
Yep. Huge.
You want to give fans what they want, you said? I'll tell you what. I like what I seen with what you guys did this offseason with your free agents and getting your guys back in there. You had a quote that said, it was like we were watching a movie last year, and then we had to hit pause on it. And then I'll tell you, that movie went real bad at the end. 7 straight, just like this. Now we're getting a chance to pick it back up. That is the mindset. And whenever they're pitching you to sign Daniel Jones to a potential 2-year, $100 million deal, or Alec Pierce to the highest at the time free agent wide receiver deal, how do those conversations go, and how excited were you to get them both back?
I mean, first I was very excited to get both of them back, and I think they both wanted to come back together. And I think it's important, as I've said, that, talking to a lot of the guys, like, how did they feel? How did they feel? What did we need to keep moving forward? And they, most of them overwhelmingly agreed. Daniel was the right person, and obviously what he went through with his Achilles. I mean, that as players, you guys
And
know
broken leg. He had a broken leg. It was.
And he played with that. I mean, for multiple games, and I just remember them saying, like, how can you play with a broken leg? It's like, well, your fibula only supports 15% of your weight.
Okay.
I'm like, and I'm like, oh, okay.
All right, So this is normal? No, it's not normal. Okay, all right. Well, we appreciate him doing that. And then the Achilles goes. But it felt so good. Lucas Oil Stadium felt special. I mean, everything felt special there for a bit. I can respect the fact that let's run that thing back. Good luck to you. Good luck to us, because we're going to be in there as well. D-Bud has a question for you, man.
Yeah, speaking of Lucas Oil Stadium, we always get great reviews on the game day experience. Obviously, you talked about the different types of fans. Some of us show up and all we care about is the football, and a lot of us show up, especially kids, people with families, they care about the overall game day experience. How did you kind of attack that coming in once you took over?
So I think, fortunately, I've been able to, growing up in the business and working in it for over 20 years now, I think that a lot of the pieces that we had in place, we're just going to continue to capitalize on some of those efforts that we've been doing. But obviously, there's a lot of stuff that we've been able to evolve with digital media and performance marketing, and making sure in a non-creepy way that we're, not that we're understanding what our fans want and what those different cohorts want, because what kids want versus what women want versus what a casual fan wants, versus what an avid fan wants. It's all different, and I think that's okay. And I think there's a way that we can, kind of serve each one of those groups and make sure that they're having an amazing time and an amazing experience.
And another quick question: your fashion is always a topic.
What do we got today?
Is there a stylist, or is this all you? Just your closet, your mind, your vision, or do you have stylists who dress you?
I mean, I don't think having a stylist would feel so weird. It'd be like having someone that picks out.
Darius has one.
I do.
You do?
They would not have packed the hoodie out here.
Yeah, I know. At least you have that air conditioning.
Yeah, I'm a Florida boy. I'm good.
No, I just think that for years, my dad would he would call it being proper. On game days, game days are very serious. Serious and in a good way, right? It's like we only have so many of them in our league compared to, that'd be expensive if I worked in baseball. It'd be a lot of it.
Oh, you look so cool, though. Could you imagine walking into 81 home games, 162 on the road?
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
A lot of fits.
some of the fits. Hey, some of the fits. So when you put one on, you go,
Yep, this is a winner.
one. You do that. And then there's some that you go,
And who I've actually gotten advice from is sometimes, I've texted Kenny,
More?
what about these shoes?
Good.
Or I've texted EJ Speed. I'm like, could I wear this with that? And he'll be like, no.
don't do that.
Heads up.
Connor has a question for you, boss.
Yeah, speaking of the stadium, right now is kind of the time where it's like, this city, Vegas wants to host a Super Bowl. Minneapolis wants to host the draft. Is that something that, Indianapolis or you are even, thinking about, whether it be the draft, because the draft now is such a massive event, and Indy's so great at hosting things like the Combine every single year is amazing. Is that something that you consider or even think about, or how does that go as far as those types of bids? Just because we see it almost every week now, a different team wants to, build a new stadium so that they can host a Super Bowl or a draft now. What is that process like?
We're definitely interested in hosting a draft, and I think you guys have experienced Indiana, and the Final Four is going to be there. Just I think a really cool part of Indianapolis identity that we need to lean into is just their sports tourism, and no one does it better. But I think part of with the draft and some of these other tentpole events, we've sort of modified our model around the Super Bowl. I mean, I think it used to be if you built a stadium, you would get a Super Bowl. It was kind of like a handshake thing. Yeah. But I think, the part, and obviously we're in a cold, we got so lucky. The weather was apparently amazing when we hosted our Super Bowl.
It was,
we got lucky.
Yeah.
But I think that, again, going back to what fans want, if you're going to spend thousands of dollars on tickets, you might want to be by a beach, or, you might want to go to the pool.
Agreed.
Or go to do slot machines in Las Vegas. I don't know.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Would you do a slot machine in Las Vegas? Then
No.
I feel like that's your thing.
No.
Blackjack?
No.
None. Nothing.
No.
Nothing of chance over there?
No.
Love that.
Poker?
Back locked in.
It stresses me out.
How about poker? Would you play poker? A little bit more control?
I mean, like maybe with my kids and like some marshmallows or something.
What about chess or checkers? You play either of those?
I love chess.
Yeah. Yeah. We like what we're doing.
Nice.
Okay, speaking of chess, I know you're not allowed to move the pawn whenever it comes to closed Sicilian conversation about the refs. So you guys got an email that said, don't talk about it? Is that what happened?
Well, I think that anytime you have ongoing negotiations, I would say best practice is, you don't comment on that. You let the league people handle it. But one of the things I will say is that I have tremendous respect and regard for what officials have to do. I know we all have various opinions depending on what side the decisions they're making, but I think that as a league, we always need to be trying to get better in every way. Like I should be getting better. All of us should be getting better all the time. And I think that's one of the things that the league does a good job of. We're always trying to innovate, new technology, health and safety, all that stuff.
Unbelievable answer. You said nothing, but you said good.
Yeah, it was
that was really good work there. And I appreciate you kind of dropping some game there. Hey, anytime there's any negotiations going on, you probably shut up.
Yeah.
All right, we will. It's going to be tough for us to do that, though. I will say. You say you're getting better every day. We're just trying not to get absolute worse. Mm-hmm. So we appreciate your service not only to our city, but also to the league. Good luck this weekend. And I'm excited to see what ends up coming out of this weekend. We're going to be okay, you're not going to say anything. We're going to get it. No, I'm not going to say it.
Wow.
I'm trying to push some of these rules, how they're going to go through, but we just want to let you know we trust the hell out of you, and we appreciate you stopping by, Miss Carly.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a great one. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, owner of the Colts, Carly. Perfect.
Really cool fit.
Yeah, great, just a great outfit.
Unbelievable shades.
Dresses on.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good ownership shit right there.
Like the shades.
At the gas station? Yeah.
That's where we buy
Smart.
them. Yeah.
Someone dropped them and I just picked them up.
Love that.
I love that move. Hey, as long as you keep doing that, we're very grateful. Yeah. Miss Carly, thank you so much. Yeah, don't fall off, please. Well, hey, once again,
Watch the course.
please do not fall off. Cannot. Our show will be over.
Forever.
All right, we appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Miss Carly. Okay, as we transition from one of the owners of the NFL here at the Biltmore, hey, there's going to be so many movies about her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's safe to say.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Colts. Thank you, Colts people.
Yeah, maybe the Colts if they win.
Hey, Conti, really good work, Conti.
The baby Conti. Hey,
Conti,
baby
really
Conti.
nailed it, Conti.
He big dog Bruce yesterday.
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is not an owner, but a man who has a damn good golf swing. Damn good. Hey, you need to move your microphone back just a little bit. It was yeah, perfect. It was perfect. It was a great job. Ladies and gentlemen, general manager of the Buffalo Bills, friend of the program, Brandon Bean.
Hey,
Me and Bino, fresh out of an absolute drumming of AQ Shipley and Evan Fox on the golf course.
Oh, and AQ?
An absolute drumming.
I heard Q sucked you.
Hometown?
He had a tough day.
Duck hook.
He would say that he ended up winning the last wolf round because me and Fox had just kind of. So we're kind of done with this one. We played 17 holes. This holes. We played a long time. We had a great day out there. We appreciate you joining us. We appreciate your friendship too. Let's talk about being out here. Everybody's here. What are the general managers doing out here? You guys are meeting with each other, trying to get deals done still as free agency lingers and the draft is kind of upon us. What is your kind of entire goal of this particular week out here?
Yeah, I think it's just the leagues, gives us a lot of data. We're health and safety. Carly was just talking about it. Some of the new and, up and coming things, whether it's AI, just where our league's headed. how they pertain to your job as GM. We're, yesterday afternoon, and we're going to continue this morning, combo meetings with the head coaches, just some of the rules on the field, but also some of the roster rules. There's a game in Australia this year, probably moving, when we cut the 53 down, just to make sure those teams can get their roster set before they have to travel over there. So just a lot of logistical things. And then everyone, will kind of shift back, travel home, and get ready for the draft.
It feels like a very positive vibe here. Everybody on the same page. Has there ever been heat at this place? People get any heat at this place? I walked into a little journalism room, and it was good to see everybody. It was great to see everybody. But there's a couple people I don't like in there. I thought to myself, just be positive. We're at the league meetings. Feels like everybody is kind of on the same mission out here.
Yeah, I think, listen, free agency is mostly done. People are kind of seeing players change. You're seeing, hey, you run into a guy, hey, you signed this guy, hey, you're going to love this guy, this is how he does best. Some of those conversations happen, and like I said, it's usually calm. It's kind of a good lull between free agency and, what's happening in 3 weeks.
Will players be able to survive 18 games?
I mean, it's a good question. I mean, it's one more. I think you obviously probably would lose a preseason game. I think you would have to talk about expanding rosters and then game day rosters. From 48, I think we need to talk about getting, 50, north of 50 to be able to accommodate another game.
So the fact that you said that feels like that is something that's probably in the conversation, this entire piece.
Yeah,
because you're going to have to get the players to agree to this. More players on active rosters means more contracts, which probably means a little bit of a give and take there, sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you would go to 18 games for, the revenue piece of it and cut one out of preseason. It's going to be more revenue. And so ultimately you're going to have to, make sure you got the right players because you do want to make sure teams that make the playoffs have the best players playing. So how do you get through a season so that the rosters aren't depleted?
Yeah, Bo breaking his leg right before the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
It's just like drumming. Obviously, it happens to everybody with injuries. Football is a very physical and demanding sport. No matter how many rules are changed, 18 games would be a long time, especially for the big guys. Last question for me before the boys have questions. By the way, great day on the course.
That was awesome.
Hey, Foxy, how's it going back there? You owe me, you owe Beano $100.
Yeah, I definitely still owe Bean $100. I only had $500 cash on me, but Bean is a gentleman, so he said, "You know what? You keep that extra $100."
No, that's negotiation.
No, Foxy, keep that 100, buddy. That was fun.
Yeah, keep that 100 until. Which leads to my question: you got to win a Super Bowl? So we talked about this yesterday. You know that this is the only conversation about you publicly, right? You understand that.
Yeah,
this guy's got to win a Super Bowl. It's the same thing for Josh, same thing with Lamar. I feel like you understand that as in your position. And I think we talked about it the other day. I think you are very much, we got an alien at quarterback. Now, granted, you drafted him, okay?
Nice job.
Yeah.
Great draft.
Yeah, good pick.
Yeah, decided to go all in on him when there was other options, and he didn't look as good early. Decided to continue to build around him. So it is kind of, your thing. But also, you have the thing, and you haven't. New head coach, new DC. You can feel it, right? That's what all anybody's ever going to talk about with you until it happens.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, we're hired to win championships. We're not hired just to win games or put, butts in the seats. We're here to one goal, and that's to win a championship, bring the first championship to the Buffalo Bills, Bills Mafia, everybody. And so that hasn't changed this year. Obviously, we have a new head coach, Joe Brady. We're excited about the energy he's brought. And I know Josh and crew will be excited when we get this thing started here in a couple weeks. Off-season program's crazy. It's already here like April 7th for us. But, no, the mission hasn't changed. We know, what the expectations are. No expectations on the outside are going to be more than what I put on myself or what Josh or Joe or anyone else.
So you're not trying to win. Okay, so you are trying.
Interesting.
You're trying to win.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
you're trying to do.
Newsflash.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you just kind of mentioned the draft. We're a little more than 3 weeks away right now. How set is your board right now? What can change as far as players or prospects to move them up, or maybe you take them off, obviously outside of some, freak accident or injury away from the field?
Yeah, so prior to Indy, we had our kind of our last set of meetings with the scouts, and we pared it down. At this point, the scouts they went to Indy, pro days, we've had privates, so I'm bringing them in this Thursday. We'll spend 4 or 5 days just kind of talking through each player's, where they've been, where they're at, the medical information that we now have, from Indy. And so all those things will go into kind of, there's guys, DB, that, hey, you really like the player, but we've learned they struggle mentally, and we're worried that they're going to be able to, handle the magnitude of the playbook. Yeah. And so all those conversations come in. Then we'll kind of bring our coaches in. Our coaches have not had weighed in on any of these guys. They've been meeting them in Zoom, pro days, privates. At some point, they got to be around them to kind of feel the personality, feel the intelligence, the learns. So they'll come in, say their piece, and then we kind of see where we see things alike and where we see things differently. And the ones that we see things alike, those are easy, check. We keep them where they're at. The ones we see different, now let's get in a room. What do you see? What do we see as scouts? And let's make sure we're aligned.
When do you guys bring Dan Orlovsky in?
Why is that funny?
What's the deal?
That's not funny.
Dano doesn't deserve that.
Whenever Dan can get around.
I'm staying out of the Dan Orlovsky. You already got my son, going on that. So.
Yeah. his son went to Alabama. His son went to Alabama.
So
loves Ty Simpson. What happened with Dano, happened with his boy at the combine.
Told you.
For like 45, 50. I mean, everything Dan was saying, I'd already been there, done that with his boy at the combine.
He pulled the trump card and FaceTime Nick Saban, which just ended the whole thing.
It was the only one. His kid wouldn't stop. It kept coming. Kept coming. It was just like a non-ending. I was showing highlights and all these stuff. He's like, yeah, Ty's one of Saban's guys. I was like, what do you think Saban says? And he goes, if Saban says that Fernando is the top quarterback prospect, I'll believe it. So, all right, FaceTime Saban. He answers it. Coach, who's number one quarterback prospect in this draft? He goes, what? I go, who's number one quarterback? He goes, Fernando. He got one national championship. Thank you. And I turned it right to his face. Right to his kid's face. And he goes, well, thanks for everything, Coach Saban. Hang up on him. And then he goes, I disagree with Coach Saban. It's just like Dan. It was only just like and I respect and appreciate it because it's like I think Dan has found some traits in Ty that he loves. Yeah. He's like, hey, this is my guy. Your boy, same thing because he's an Alabama fan. Yeah. How do you separate that though? Like, is that why you have to have everybody in a room?
Yeah.
Like, what are the conversations? Has there ever been like two very huge, like Josh Allen when you drafted him?
Yep.
Was there? I assume there's people in your room that were very either against that or wanted somebody differently.
Yes.
And how do you kind of get through that entire process other than just making memes out of the person?
Well,
that's what they did to Orlovsky.
That's right. Just a hope.
They.
Hey, we did not.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Last question.
That was not us. That was not us.
You guys are lobbing softballs, though. You know it. Listen, I think the one thing, like, we're obviously not in the quarterback market, but if you're these teams that are in that, the one thing that someone like us can't answer right now is you're meeting with these guys in multiple settings. And, I think that's where Josh really stood out, for us when we were making that decision. Just, again, the leadership. There's so many pieces to the quarterback other than what we see that they're, you're the tip of the spear of your organization, your team, if you have a franchise guy. So do you feel this guy can walk into a grown man's huddle? Let's say he's got all the physical, all those things are part of this. So I have not met Fernando. I've not met Ty. But to me, those are some unanswered questions that people on the outside really don't have the, the keys to be able to answer that.
Yeah, and it sounds like from our understanding is Fernando is he's installing the Raiders offense right now. So I think Tom was there for a lot of the stuff. It feels like that's that way, but we want Ty to be successful too.
Oh, yeah.
Just anytime he can bring
everyone.
Up Dan or Law. Hey, Dan. Way good, Dano.
Good job. Baby, Dano.
All right, Dan.
They said they run your takes in the film room, and they say who agrees or disagrees. Yeah, they're not the only one.
And then they fire the people that agree with.
No. Tony has a question for you, Bino.
Yeah, I do. It came out this morning, I believe. Congratulations. I think, is this how draft picks are judged, that you picked up the fifth-year option for tight end Dalton Kincaid? That came out this morning. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's been confirmed by you. But is that kind of how an organization potentially judges a first-round draft pick if they get to the second contract, whether it's a draft pick that worked out or not?
Yeah, I mean, I think you want to be excited, and we are. You want to be excited to say, hey, this is a guy we want to continue. And listen, at some point, he's played 3 years. You can also extend him. We picked up Josh's fifth year and some of these other guys and then later extended him. But it just goes ahead and confirms to him that, hey, we're committed to you. We know right now, you're going to be a Buffalo Bill for at least 2 more years. And excited about what Dalton's done. The one thing that's, he had a little knee deal that's hampered him, and we had to monitor kind of his reps. We're hoping this year that we can get back to kind of a normal set of reps with him.
Congratulations.
Appreciate that.
Let's make sure he's paid top of the market.
Most money ever.
Ever.
Yeah, right.
Let's make sure.
Don't be negotiating against me up here.
Let's make sure we're taking care of that guy.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we're taking care of that guy.
Saves Mr. Bright.
Yeah, Ty has a question for you.
First and foremost, kudos on the Bison out front, because we were going to give you hell for it like it was solely your responsibility.
Don't think I didn't know. Don't think I wasn't in the back asking questions, dude. I cannot go on McAfee show again if these Buffaloes are weak, man. They're going to kill me.
They big, strong boys.
Yeah, look great.
Big
Both coming out. Curious, though, when it comes to DJ Moore, everyone's making a big deal about that, and you kind of told us, previous trade deadlines, like you'll call around, like was that so, and everyone was saying, hey, Buffalo was in on Waddle or so all these different receivers. Was that something you guys looked at last year, and do you feel like he is kind of the piece to take that offense to the next level where you guys are trying to get?
Yeah, he was one of the guys that we called and checked. I mean, we checked a lot of guys just to see, and Chicago shut it down. They were trying to make a run, but I think they at least knew there was interest, and they reached back out, when we got to Indy and said, hey, maybe we'd be open if something made sense, and we, fortunate to be able to figure that out. I've always loved DJ's skill set. Adds another player, a big playability, run after catch. Shakir, one of the best things he does is run after the catch. I think this adds another guy that's played, some big-time football, big-time games, and so he'll be a good addition for us, I think.
DJ Moore's 2,350 receiving yards in 2021 with Joe Brady.
Yeah.
Was the 7th highest total in the NFL. He's had success with that white guy that has a good fade, except for whenever he comes on our show at the Combine. What have you seen from Still Love Everything about Joe Brady's energy?
Yeah, I mean, Joe, you can just feel it in our building.
Can I mention this? You know you have to win a Super Bowl. Everybody knows you have to win a Super Bowl. You're the one that hires Joe Brady. People attack you for hiring Joe Brady. I think it's fascinating that this is the guy you went with, watching him work, understanding what he's like in the building, knowing that, hey, career potentially online here in this entire thing. I love that show of commitment to a guy in your building, but what you've seen from him since that moment of hiring, how have you felt about it going rookie head coaching?
Yeah, I think, listen, Joe's a young guy, but you can feel him naturally stepping in this position. He's shown great energy. I love the staff that he's hired. When these guys come in and interview for a job, you lay out plans and you say you're going to do this, this, and this. But how many people actually stick to the plan? And I give Joe a lot of credit. You can throw names. Hey, I'm going to hire this guy. I'm going to get this guy. And then, you're kind of questioning, are you really going to be able to get this guy? And I think Joe, he went through some of the guys that he really wanted to target on his staff. A guy like Jim Leonard, who's bringing, obviously played, really good, really good baller as a player. And then was at Wisconsin, went to Denver, was part of that staff, great defense. And so Jim's been fun to get to really know. I only knew him as a player. And so I just think a lot of the guys that Joe has brought on staff are kind of carrying out his vision. And like I said, we're starting in a couple weeks, and it's going to be excited for our players to walk into the building and feel this positive energy.
You're saying people lie about who they're going to be able to hire for their staff? That'd be awesome. Come in. How about this? Parcells.
Vince Lombardi.
Yeah, that's
Saban.
Yeah, Nick Saban. Listen, he's going to consult, but also he said he'll do DBs during off season. Yeah, and then you having to pick through what's real and what's not real. Spectacular part of the entire job. Everything you do, they're just going to wonder if you want. That's all they're going to say. Yep. And that's crazy that's what the business is and that's where you are. You've earned that, obviously. And congrats. We appreciate the hell out of you taking the time. Foxy has one last thing he wants to say to you about your golf game.
Yeah, Bean, you deserved every bit of that 500. I know I owe you another 100, so Con Man on stage actually has that for me. He'll give it to you right after this thing.
Yeah, right.
It's nice of you, Connor.
Thank you, Connor.
It ain't coming from me. Okay?
It's gonna be like
talking about the Bills is fun. And we're talking Super Bowls. Better come get the division, bitch. Back in New England.
That's all you're going to hear. That's all. That's the business. That's the job. There's only 32 of you, and we're very lucky that you're a friend of ours. Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Bean, General Manager.
Yeah,
Bino, you got something in a minute. Thank you for taking time with us, dude. All right, hour 2, we'll roll on the other side. This guy's unbelievable at golf.
He is
Absolute
so good.
stick.
Started playing when he was 13.
Can have beer with the guy,
Yeah, can definitely have a beer. He did not. I would like it to be known. He was dealing with us being pretty boozed up. He was not. Shout out to him. Hour 2 is on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. It's electrifying here in Happy Valley. We're lucky to be here. And, the way you win this is you have be the first 300 people here and you get a ticket. And then we randomly select a ticket, and that person gets an opportunity to kick a 33-yard field goal for an undetermined amount of money. This week, we had our man, William, right? What's your name?
William, yes, sir.
You won the raffle, and you said, I don't want to kick because I suck at kicking. Is that accurate?
More or less.
What is your major here?
I'm a finance major.
Okay, so money decision was, I suck at this. Let me try to find somebody who's good at this. How did you land on my man here, and what are your hopes in him?
Well, I was looking around. I saw my man. He said he plays soccer, and I was like, this is my guy right here. My guy Carson. I have faith in him, so I know he's going to get it done.
All right, you're Carson, right? You played high school soccer. Is that accurate?
I did play high school soccer.
Where are you from?
I'm from Hanover, Pennsylvania.
Okay, you're a Pennsylvania guy. Have you ever kicked a ball before?
Other than not football, soccer.
Okay. Well, hopefully you're terrible at this. It's $100,000. Are you guys splitting that 50-50?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll make it $300,000. $150,000 for both of you. Okay? You only get one kick, though. You've gamed the ticket game, which I appreciate and respect. It's up to $300,000. $150,000 for both of you. Only one kick, though, Herbie. We're not doing anything. I don't care how many Staters chant for another kick. Only one, Herbie. Played high school soccer. He's a good player.
We got a problem here.
That's right. It's a whiteout. It could be a special day. You could help out your guy, William, in winning $150,000. One kick, 300,000, two.
What you got there? You're a good man.
This minute,
You're a good man.
Carson, congratulations.
You crushed that.
William, way to go. It has been an expensive year out here at the field goal kick. Carson, I'm proud of you, buddy. 300,000, 150 to you, 150 to you. Good finance decisions were made. And the first top six whiteout has a magical vibe and an expensive one. We are. Thank you. Goodbye.
I think that might, maybe they should have turned that around and said thank you to Pat.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, Dwight, let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful.
Mcafee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to glorious Phoenix, Arizona, the host of the league meetings on this Overreaction Monday, March 30th, 2026. Hour 2 of the program begins now. Are the greatest. Scott, great work on the jib. ESPN people, phenomenal job on the setup here. And we are at the Biltmore, the home of the NFL's league meetings. Every owner, GM, and coach is in there alongside their local media as we try to figure out what the future of the NFL looks like while everybody is shaking hands and kissing babies as networking is at an all-time high here in hot as hell, Arizona. The views are impeccable. The golf, spectacular. And the information that's going to be tossed around in this wall back here is going to be something that's going to change the way the biggest league on earth operates, at least for the foreseeable future. We're so incredibly thankful and lucky to be here. Obviously, college hoops is happening all over the place. The Final Four has been decided. UConn breaks the hearts of Duke on a 40-foot splash city from Mr. Indiana, Braylon Mullins, who will be joining us here in about 3-4 minutes or so. Obviously, everybody saw this. The shot seen around the world. Splash! Oh! 19 points, UConn were down at one point in this game. 15 at the half. They end up winning by 1. And Dan Hurley has another Final Four, and his record is getting outrageous as we are introduced to his mom and dad in the crowd. Also, Illinois beat the hell out of Iowa. Wow. Sorry about it. Sorry about it. Arizona beat the dog crap out of Purdue. Michigan pounded Tennessee. And the Final Four might be more talented than it's ever been. We'll have Coach K joining us here in a matter of moments. We believe Coach McCarthy from the Pittsburgh Steelers will be joining us this hour. And this should be spectacular as it continues to be awesome to be here. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Con, man, what did you learn from Bino and Carly there in our conversations? Sounds like 18 games is coming right around the corner.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That feels like the biggest news, especially when you think about the NFL telling basically all the streaming services and all the networks like, hey, we're going back to the table because we want to change these deals, maybe, adjust them a little bit, make a little bit more money. Now it all is kind of making more sense. Those Friday games we talked about that don't exist right now, they might exist in a month. And then those games, who knows who else gets in the entire deal? Like, is Apple going to come to the table? Does Amazon?
When does Apple get involved?
That's a good question.
Maybe this year.
I don't know if they even want to.
Why not?
They have. I mean, how much money did they spend on F1? I don't know if they're like
F1 in baseball.
F1 baseball,
Come on,
soccer.
into real sports.
You're gonna love it.
Now, granted, soccer, I got some bad news for us.
What do you mean?
Our team sucks.
What?
What do you mean?
5-2.
Oh, it was a friendly.
It wasn't very friendly what the Belgium team did to us. I'm sorry, Belgique did to us. They smacked our cheeks. And we might be cheeks, is what Belgique showed me in the international friendly. 5-2. We have a nasty goal early. Holy hell, we're doing this.
Yeah.
USA. 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 Tied halftime, second half, we get demolished. Now, Gumpy, who follows soccer much closer than I, says we subbed out all our good players at halftime, put all our trash players in the second half, and we lose.
Low management.
On that note, I want to let Paunchy I believe.
Yeah.
But I can't be watching that anymore.
Well, no, what's nice is like when a situation like that happens for me, now I will not pay attention to the U.S. men's national team until the World Cup kicks off. So you can put them out of your head. Fuck these guys. They got to prove it. They got to prove it. They got to, and I agree because I'm a Ponch guy as well. I will show up. I will ride into the mists of Avalon with him. But now I'm just going to pay him no mind until the World Cup kicks off. And then if we don't make it out of the group stage or we get beat or we get embarrassed, we can go, told you so. These guys stink.
At this point, too, we're in on baseball.
Yeah, baseball
soccer,
season, baby.
Soccer is kind of an
Okay, let's find out how this goes. We like everything.
Expectations are now here. Okay. If we lose 5-2 every game.
Listen, when we're watching preseason football and the Chiefs are playing and Mahomes plays the first half and they're up 17-3, and then some team comes back in the second half against some nobodies, do we say the Chiefs?
No, we don't care. We're still on
bingo.
I say there's no reason for you to say F these guys. These guys are wearing they're wearing the badge.
They're wearing the crest on our chest.
There it is. Yes, please.
No, I'm not F these guys. I'm not going to pay them any. I'm not going to let them get into my brain or any thought.
Emotions.
Karen. Yeah, exactly. Until the World Cup is here. So next time we have a friendly, and if we win 4-0, you're going to hear. I'm going to be mum on it. These boys got to show up, and they will. They will once World Cup gets.
Team USA flag football showed up. Team USA hockey showed up, both in the Paralympics and the Olympics.
Baseball.
Our skiers
kind of showed up.
Our baseball team.
They showed up with receipts, which helped, but they didn't.
9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler's here. D-Butch, what's he talking about?
You know what? Honestly, I care less about any of this.
What do you care about?
I got 2 Final Fours to prepare for.
Yeah.
One out here with the women, out here in beautiful Phoenix, our 25th for the women's side, and then another one for the men, 3rd in 4 years.
Congrats.
Free furniture.
I will. And a lot of people pouting about Dan Hurley after the game. Yeah, he was a little juiced up with .3 on the clock. Wouldn't you be if Mullins hit a 40-footer in your face? So just an unbelievable performance. I'm still elated. I'm still on cloud 9. I can't wait to see these boys host another one.
I'm happy that the Huskies are having success.
Sure, it's cool.
Because when our coach left for Dubai State,
Colorado State. It's
Colorado State.
It happens.
Which, hey, listen, sometimes you just want to get away, go see the mountains and do that whole thing. The way people were talking about a UConn coach, though, just taking that job was like not good for UConn, I thought. Then the whole meme with Dano, UConn, there was a lot of, right?
Yeah.
And then Coach Oriem is making the other coach quit, saying,
Yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore. Now Dan Hurley, 19-point comeback in the Elite Eight against the most powerful, the most talented.
What? Overall #1 seed.
Duke team.
Duke. Everybody saw they got 2 free throws. They would have went down there, pissed down their leg, and missed both of those.
Okay.
They would have choked.
You might be right.
This Duke. UConn, baby. That's all it's about. Basketball capital of the world.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who's from the basketball capital of the world, Indiana. Okay.
Okay.
In Mr. Indiana, punched the ticket back to Indianapolis for a Final Four. An absolute legend forever. Was 0 for 4 in the game until you couldn't see an ounce of worry in his soul. Splash to the Final Four. Ladies and gentlemen, Braylon Mullins.
Yeah!
How'd it feel good?
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate you guys having me.
That had to feel so good. That had to feel so. As it was coming out, you knew. As it was coming out.
Man, yeah, you got to shoot it with confidence. What?
Yeah, so I heard your teammates say anytime he's shooting it, confidence going in. You obviously hadn't had your best night shooting, but as this thing is leaving your hands, you know it's going in. You feel.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I knew once I had the ball, there was like 2 seconds left, so I had to put one up, and it came off the hand pretty well. It's crazy that was the one that I made yesterday, but yeah, I'm still full of emotions. It's still crazy to process it, and man, we're going back to Indy now.
Yeah, we can't wait to have you in the city, and obviously, congratulations. We wish you would have stayed in Indiana. Don't know how that happened. Dan Hurley is obviously a weapon. There's a lot of conversation about how he operates and runs a program. You guys are down 19. You're down 15 in that game at half. What is his messaging to you guys, and why do you think your team was able to kind of rally?
I mean, yeah, I think Coach he wanted to keep the positivity with the group and just keep the confidence high. And I think just coming out of halftime, we just had to chip at the lead, just dug the hole that we dug in the first half. And I think we got it to single digits, like 10, 12 minutes into the second half. And I think we got it to a game manageable for us. And we knew we worked too hard for it. And we knew it was like, you got to claw back into it.
Do you think every Caucasian in Indiana can shoot?
Absolutely. What?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so too. That's what I learned whenever I got drafted to the Colts. You just go mess around at the LA Fitness. You got large, you got small, you got fat, you got, you got all types of whites from Indiana. All of them. All of them have a jumper. It does feel like the state creates hoopers. You potentially next legend coming out. We appreciate that. D-Butt, UConn Husky alum, has been singing your praises, obviously.
Yeah, obviously playing for Coach Hurley has been unbelievable. But, like, what was his messaging throughout the game? Because I'm watching the game, and regardless of what the score was, he's pumping the crowd up. He's staying engaged. What was his messaging throughout, keeping you guys on point? And then that last play, because you guys are pressing. And, Foxy, if you run that clip and kind of pause it as he throws the ball, it's 5-on-3 in the backcourt. What was the message on the sideline going into this play?
I mean, yeah, just going into that play, I think we were just trying to foul the worst free throw shooter on the floor. And, I mean, you could tell in the front, we tried fouling Sar. And Boozer ended up turning the ball over. And I was like, I mean, I'm going to try to get the ball to AK. He had just hit one. Yep. And we're gonna let him take the last shot. He threw the ball back to me. And I was just like, man, I knew I threw it to him with like 4 seconds left. I was like, all right, we got to get a shot up. I'm not going to go out with no shot. And, man, that was the one that went down. So.
Can you tell me immediately afterwards, you guys dump a bunch of water? Is Hurley always showing up in the postgame locker room in his towel? And,
yeah.
Tell me about the celebration afterwards. The boys had to be elated, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, Coach is used to that. The water spilling and everything. But yeah, coming in there with a towel, I've never seen that. He's one of a kind. So,
what if he pooped his pants? Do you think he maybe pooped there whenever you make that? He was so
possible.
Excited. There's a chance.
Is there anything on underneath the towel?
You'll never know.
You'll never know. I heard he wears the same suit. We'll find out next game, I guess. Ty has a question for you, brother.
Yeah, Braylon, just curious. Obviously, a certain kind of player gets attracted to go play for a guy like Coach Hurley because he is a psycho in the best way possible. I don't know what your high school coach was like, but like, were you fully prepared for everything that he was gonna, kind of demand of you day in, day out when you got to UConn? And what's that kind of process been like?
I mean, yeah, I think when I was with my high school coach and my dad coached as well, so they kind of resembled a little bit of how they pushed you to the limit. And I mean, going to play for Coach Hurley, I thought it was just an easier transition. I knew you're gonna get yelled at. That just happens. But it's just like I knew he was gonna push me to my max, and he's gonna make sure I'm better and get better. And yeah, he's my role model. He's the guy I look up to. He holds the standard. I mean, I wouldn't want to play for anybody else.
Hey, I think your generation gets a lot of shit talked about you, about how you can handle coaching. Do you think that's fair or no? Obviously, you don't think that because you're with Danny. You just call him your role model and you like good, hard coaching. But does it feel like your generation maybe gets mislabeled a little bit? Because every college coach we talk to is like, we're accountability.
Yeah.
But your generation gets a lot of shit talked about you guys. Do you hear that? Do you understand that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, you'll see that on social media all the time. It's like we can't take the criticism from the coaches, the media, and everything. So I think just playing for somebody like Coach Hurley is just like, man, you gotta take some of that criticism. It just makes you a better person and a better, just better at life. So.
Yeah, see, that's a good perspective, though, that they say your generation done.
Even he's mature beyond his years. You can tell that.
What if they all are, though?
I don't know.
I don't know, because they got to handle business, these guys.
It's like every generation. Some are, some aren't.
Yeah. We're having a conversation about you while you're here, but just know that we're appreciative that you're a dog, dude. Legit. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Braylon, you just mentioned your dad's a coach. Have you had a chance to kind of talk with your family, have a moment with your family? I assume it's been about, you being a basketball star your whole life, Mr. Indiana, the whole thing. Have you had a chance to kind of talk to them? And have you rewatched the clip back just on your own and kind of watch it in disbelief? Or are you still kind of not there yet, don't even want to see how ridiculous of a shot it was?
I mean, yeah, I think I didn't get to watch the first clip until like after we were out of the locker room, midnight, 1 a.m. It's just crazy how everything unfolded. But it's just like, yeah, I get to look back at that every single year. I know that shot's gonna be in history. But yeah, I had to celebrate with the family. I think I was on the phone with my dad probably 15, 20 minutes before this. He's back at work in Indy because he was at the game yesterday. So, but yeah, we're all excited.
Yeah, dude, we're all excited. March Madness, having that moment in it this year is a beautiful thing. Feels like the Final Four.
He's going to have to get 100 tickets.
Yeah, a lot of cousins now.
Yeah.
Coming out of the woodwork.
Yep. And you're getting paid now, too, so shit. They're going to expect you to pay for it, brother. I mean, that's welcome to the life. Welcome to the life. Can't wait to see you back in Indy. Final Four is spectacular. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, it is awesome. Speaking of the Final Four, we always make a big deal about now that you're going to the Final Four, shooting in Lucas Oil, shooting in a huge stadium in the shooter's eye. Have you guys talked about that at all? And is that actually something that we should think about going into this Final Four?
I mean, yeah, I don't think we've gotten too far down to Lucas Oil. I mean, we kind of just preparing now for Illinois. And man, I mean, Lucas Oil is a one-of-a-kind place as well. I got to watch some games, football and everything. So I know the environment. I'm kind of used to it. And but it's just, man, I'm so excited to play in front of the hometown and just be able to show what we're all about.
What, Caden Curry came back with Ohio State. I think he's from Greenfield area, too. No, where's he from?
No idea.
I'm not sure, but the kid from Illinois now, another Indian.
He's from Lawrence as well. You guys are all over the place. Hey, you're not at Indiana, but you guys are all over the place. And it's been an honor to watch you, brother. There's also been somebody that hasn't been able to listen to this entire conversation, but he's been, I think, seeing it. He can hear me, can't hear you. I think he has something he wants to say. Coach K, you here, Coach K? Coach K here?
I am, and I wish I could have heard Braylon and not you guys.
Okay.
But congratulations, son. What an amazing moment. And how about your senior leader, Caravan, having the confidence in you to make it a historical pass before the historical shot? Congratulations.
Coach K, he actually couldn't hear you either, so I will spread that information. He said, wow, how about Caravan passing you the ball? Must have incredible pressure or belief in you. Congratulations. Coach K said you're the man.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Coach.
Hey, safe travels back home. We appreciate the hell out of you, man. Thank you for showing up for basketball, for sport, for Indiana.
Legend.
You name it, brother. You're the man.
Hell yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Braylon Moore.
Yeah, Braylon.
And ladies and gentlemen, Coach K.
Yeah, Coach,
we're sorry you had to hear us instead of Braylon. Braylon was giving a lot of good answers. He was complimenting Dan Hurley. He was talking about how he's his role model. He's his idol. He likes getting coached, knew that he was going to have to get coached. And he said every shot felt good. What a winner for them. That's a story they're going to remember forever. Now, you on the Duke side, obviously not great, but down 19, 15 at half. Can you describe what Dan Hurley and his team was able to accomplish there and how legendary of a moment it is for them?
Well, the moment was set up because of outstanding defense. Ironically, the last shot occurred because of a turnover. And throughout the second half, Duke, we turned the ball over too much. We were outscored 16-0 after turnovers. And it's because, Connecticut played great defense and they never quit. And, it's to their credit that they hung in there and we could not knock them out. They would not allow Duke to knock them out. And, but it was defense and they played tremendous defense, which Danny's teams play all the time.
Yeah, they're bopping wood all the time, aren't they? They're smacking wood out there. They're slapping a baloney around whenever they have to. And that was a magical end for the Connecticut folks. Okay, that was a magical end for the Connecticut folks and for the basketball fans.
Yeah.
I mean, that was exhilarating. I felt alive watching that thing fly and then go in.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the March Madness. Let's go to the other side. And obviously, you're not the coach of the Duke team anymore. Shire is. What is his messaging to his team after that? Obviously, everybody's talking about the collapse and everything like that. And they live in a world where they're going to see it and feel it, I think. How does he kind of deal with that, you think, going forward?
Well, you just saw Braylon, how happy, his smile went from ear to ear. The joy of winning, but really the despair and the agony of losing and dealing with that with your team. I think John's primary concern, and he does a great job of this, he and his staff, making sure you take care of those young men. They had a magnificent season, one of the best ever, and you lose. It's brutal. It's so abrupt, and from the joy to the agony, and to especially make sure that you embrace collective responsibility, that you win and you lose together, so that no one individual player bears the burden of that alone. And I felt so bad for Caden Booser, because I felt after the interviews afterwards, one, he was man enough to do the interviews, and he took individual responsibility for it. And hopefully, I'm sure his teammates and his coaches hugged him afterward and said, listen, man, we were there. Hey, your 15 points in the first half were the reason that we were up by 15 points at halftime. He played an outstanding game, and it's that one turnover, but it wasn't one play. I'm telling you, we turned the ball over too much because of Connecticut's defense. And what happened, Connecticut had a hard time scoring, but when you get live ball turnovers, you have a numerical superiority going down to the offensive end, and you take it to the hole better. And they got their offensive mojo going. And really, two of the biggest shots was from DeMary. Duke was up 10, and he hit a corner three. One of our kids, Nick, trumped it with to go back to 10, and boom, he trumped that by hitting 2 threes. And those were, you talk about huge shots. Those were amazing shots.
You talk about numerical superiority. They were 1 of 18 from 3 in the first half. Dan Hurley found out about that in a post-game press conference in real time. He had a hilarious reaction, both hands to his face, of embarrassment after such a huge win. He said, the assistant coaches were telling me it was bad. I did not know we were 1 for 18 in the first half. Then he said, at some point, we're going to have to start knocking down a 3 if we're going to want to win this game. You talk about the numerical superiority. What you're saying is whenever you play good defense, you get turnovers, you get high percentage shots. So if it's not falling, all of a sudden it's a gritty way back into the game. And then they end up 4 or 5 down the stretch for 3. So they get hot late. They bop the wood. That's classic Dan Hurley football, it feels like, in the end. And on that note, D-Butt, UConn Husky, has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, I was just talking to Braylon about this. Kind of in the midst of a game, whether you're down big, you're on Hurley's side, UConn side, I think feel like it's easier as a player, I know, to keep fighting, stay hungry. But on that opposite side, when you have a big lead, maybe some complacency, how do you handle that as a coach? What is tougher as a coach, being up, handling that success in the middle of a game, or being down, kind of still chasing those guys?
Well, I'd rather handle it when we're up. That's a hell of a lot better. But what you hope is you can knock them out. And some teams allow themselves to get knocked out. Danny's team did not allow themselves to get knocked out. We talked about this last week about making adjustments, and whatever Dan did at halftime with his defense. They were a different team defensively in the second half, and seeing the ball go in, and they were aggressive offensively then, and got Duke into some foul trouble. So they saw free throws go in, and they saw some layups go in, and that gave them the momentum. But that really, to Connecticut's credit that they were not going to get knocked out, and our guys did a great job, but we turned it over too much.
Heartbreaker for Krzyzewskiville.
It was heartbreaking. I'm telling you. I haven't coached for 4 years now, but again, it was a great basketball game, not a good one. It was a great game, and I had I could not fall asleep last night. I felt like I was part of that, and then you're thinking about all these individual kids and how you're going to take care of them, and there's such great empathy for our guys. I mean, obviously I'm a Duke guy, and and have concern for them, and still do, because that's a tough one to get over.
How old are you?
I'm 79.
Man, still staying awake, 4 years removed.
Yeah.
Beast. That's going to happen forever.
Love of the game.
Yeah, it's going to happen forever. I don't know. That's why we're talking about with your hair, Yeah.
Look like
if you're staying up, not sleeping, to 79 for a game you're not even coaching.
Just built different.
Pat, let me make one other point.
Okay.
For my entire time as a coach, I loved being in the moments of those players. The highs, the lows. They kept you young because you were in their moment. You weren't watching their moment. You were in their moment. And Danny and John Shire, they're in the moments of their players. So, what Danny was doing after the game, I'm going to send them a few diapers as they go forward. That's in the moment. And John Shire was in his moment, taking care. And so that's the kind of thing I kind of relived last night. And even though it was bad, it felt good to be in that moment with our team.
Aren't sports the greatest, Coach? Sports are the absolute greatest. And obviously, you talk about the joy and the heartbreak. But for us as fans, it was a magical game. Let's talk about the rest of the Elite Eight and the Final Four now. Let's head to the Big Ten world. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Coach. Before last night, I think you could argue that the Big Ten kind of stole the weekend. And then obviously, we talk about that, and it was insane. But I want to go back to something that you've been talking to us about kind of for several appearances now that we've had you. When it comes to Illinois, they were they have all these European guys who are older. They're so much size, so physical. Do you think we're kind of seeing in real time that this might be a blueprint that a lot of teams will try to employ going forward? Because, boy, I tell you what, Iowa kind of gave them everything they had early, and it really didn't matter. They were just so physical and so dominant inside. Do you think we're kind of seeing in real time, like, oh, this might be something that a lot of these schools kind of try to rely on and use to go deep into the tournament in the future?
Yeah, most definitely. And it'll be a combination because the Arizona and their game against Michigan will have the international players also. Arizona and Illinois have the best combination. Actually, Illinois has a few more of international, a young player, a freshman, and some older veterans. That combination and what it produces because of the portal, if you get a transfer, they're older. The international players are older also. And so what we're seeing is older, good teams. And as long as NIL and rev share are there, we're going to continue to see it unless in a couple of years, if there's NBA Europe, what kind of contracts would come from that? Right now, the international players are able to make more money here than they would be in the EuroLeague, and you're seeing great basketball.
Yes.
The product is unbelievable.
Yeah, so let's talk about the international players getting more money with NIL now, because wasn't that kind of the alternative for high school players that were no longer allowed to go straight to the NBA? I think one of the Ball brothers went over and played in Latvia,
Australia,
Lithuania, or something like that, and they talked about how you can get money over there while also learning how to play against pros and everything like that. Now the NIL money is more than what those leagues were going to be. That's a fascinating little...
And rev share, rev share is what schools can pay, but NIL is added to it. So, look, these young men are making a lot of money. God bless them. They should. They're putting on a great show, and that's the model from now on. And then like a big phrase, a big term is roster management. And so in the next few weeks, with the portal opening up, who's going pro, who's transferring, how these teams manage their roster. And you can come back. If you're a big-time program, you can come back in 1 year because you could bring 10 new players in.
Coach, hypothetical here, and I know you're not in there, but let's say somebody at West Virginia was an alumni.
Okay.
Wanted to take maybe a Euro trip. Okay, I want to go take a Euro trip, check out some of these European pros.
Naturally.
I found 4 of these guys that I like. These guys be good mountaineers. How much are these guys making, actually? How much money are these guys making in college hoops right now? Because the money around college football was like, there was like a 6.5, 7 coming at the quarterback position. Now, obviously, that is a different animal, and who knows what's real because nothing needs to be actually reported, which is kind of a part of the entire problem because what is the market? Everybody just kind of makes it up as they go, but I think people kind of have a sense. For basketball, I'm not talking about a Duke, but let's say at basketball, what is the going rate for like a top guard or a top big or a top something like that? Has that already been figured out?
Yeah, it's 7 figures, and what level of 7 figures it is. The thing that you mentioned, though, you would not be able to just go over and watch them all play. In Europe, they don't. Now, wait a minute. You would have to do a tour because we're able to see high school kids when they go to AAU tournaments, a group of them together. The international players are all over Europe. You might go and see one, then see another or whatever. So really the job under Coach Underwood's done at Illinois is fantastic. He seems to have fallen in love with the Eastern European player, and they're good. And you do that, that means his staff must spend a lot of time, or a member of his staff, going over and visiting different places and having contacts in Europe. How you recruit now is so much different than when I recruited. It's so much different. That's why John Shire's done a much better job than I would have done in putting this whole thing together.
I don't think that's true. I'm not going to let you say that. I like you complimenting Shire because he's probably taking a lot of heat right now in your world, but you would have figured it out. You would have figured it out.
Well, I would have had him as an associate helping me figure it out.
Yeah. Exactly. You would have had it figured out. So I understand what you're saying, and this is just like Saban too. Saban's like, I don't think I would have been able to do it. It's like you would have. You would have been able to figure it out.
That's a whole different beast. Like going
European.
Obviously, Coach K would figure it out, but going over there, knowing which leagues, because like you said, the AAU circus here, you're going to get the top players playing against the top players. Now going over there, language barriers, I'm sure people around, that's a whole different
What was that, Doc?
They're men, too. They're men. They're men. They're not 18-year-old boys. And they played against men. They've been pros for X number of years, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And so, when it says on the rosters, some of the international players are freshmen, look at their age. Okay, look at their age. They're not 18.
What was that movie where they went to Spain and
Hustle?
Balboa?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was a documentary down in Africa too, right? I think there's like basketball academies down in Africa.
NBA
Is what? Yeah, like where
basketball academies all over the world, and the NBA. I've worked for the NBA now for the last 3 years. The NBA has done such a great job of global management of the game and the teaching of the game. And so there are just more good players in the world than ever. And college basketball now is not U.S. It's the world, for crying out loud.
Yeah, West Virginia needs to get a little worldly.
Sure,
yeah, West Virginia needs to get a little worldly.
They're focused on
They got that
next game.
Canadian guy.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about over there.
Okay.
I'm not talking about up there. I'm talking about
there are
over
a lot
there.
of good. There are a lot of great Canadian players.
Steve
man.
Nash, I got respect. Okay, so Justin Bieber can obviously shoot well.
SGA.
Yeah, I got a lot of respect. Okay, for the Canadians. But what I'm talking about is we want the Luka.
You want the Euro step.
Yeah, You know, and I know Stojakovic is from here, but I want.
No, he's got that flair.
Yeah,
Once you guys win the thingamajig out there.
Have you heard about this new tournament that's going to rival the Final Four, the Super Duper Other Crown? West Virginia's playing against the Toronto Blue Jays. Coach, just early look at this bracket.
Not yet. You guys have to publicize that a little bit more.
Okay. All right, let's get back to the Final Four. Tone has a question for you. Jeez.
Yeah, Coach, I have a question about Michigan. They have won by 21, 23, 13, and then 33 against Tennessee yesterday. As a coach, like, does that concern you at all going into the Final Four that they haven't played a close game in this tournament yet? Or do you believe that it's a good thing that they're playing so well that they're blowing out teams? I feel like UConn might have done that a couple years ago where they just blew out teams their entire run.
Well, your points about Michigan are well taken. They're on a roll. They lost their backup point guard about a month or so ago, and it took them just a little bit to regain their continuity. See, continuity is key. I thought it hurt our team with the injuries to have continuity going in being in the tournament. They are on a roll right now. They are having fun together. They have 8 guys who can play. Lindenborg is really as good as anybody in college. I'd still vote for our guy for National Player of the Year, but Lindenborg's right there. And Mara is unbelievable. I mean, 7'3", he's from Spain.
That's what I'm talking about.
His footwork, and they block about 6-7 shots a game. And the beauty yesterday was not just their defense; they were passing the damn ball. They made the extra pass all the time, and it looks like they're having a lot of fun playing. That their game against Arizona, you're going to see 8 against 8, and I'm not talking about officials. Both teams have 8 solid players in that combination of international, young U.S. and old U.S. And they're both amazingly well coached, and they have continuity. They have continuity going in, and so does all 4 do now. But
I love the Final Four that we have. I think we got a gritty, talented, exciting dogs. Like, I think we got a group that'll fight, which, that goes back to the question you just asked about Michigan there. It's like, I think they haven't had to prove that yet to us yet, but I feel like they will. And,
they went through the whole Big Ten.
Yeah, exactly.
They're playing great. They're not playing well. They're playing great. And they have in Dusty, they have a coach that's been there. He's been there before.
He's from Indiana. He's an Indiana guy.
He was a manager. He was a manager for Coach Knight.
Yeah, and then just kick him out of the building. And then Mullins is Mr. Indiana. He's a UConn now. A kid with the ponytail from Illinois.
Davis.
He's literally from right where the Thunderdome is. These kids could all be playing.
Got to recruit your state.
They could be wearing the.
Got to recruit your state.
Yeah, we'll see. That's what you got to do.
Yep.
You know where you need to recruit?
Where's that?
Europe.
Yeah, well,
Eastern Europe.
It's the Indiana.
Okay, I understand. Indiana is kind of the Europe of America when it comes to creating basketball talent. Now, let's get to some more conversation about the top here of college hoops as a whole. Good, Con Man.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned Dusty there, and it feels like right now, looking at these 4 teams, all 4, leaders, all 4 head coaches are, very in-your-face type coaches, kind of old school, like we say, but they've led their teams in their respective to win their region. What is this week like? How much of an advantage do you kind of give Hurley just because he's gone through it more recently than some of these other guys, and he's won kind of on his own with that back-to-back run UConn had? Or do you kind of think maybe some of these other schools, Illinois in particular, they're so young they don't even have to think about it? And I say young as in their run in the tournament. None of these guys have the pressure or thought of like what to expect, even though they're much older European players. What do you think about that aspect? Do you kind of think UConn might have a little bit of an advantage just because they know, hey, this is going to be the media day, this is going to be the stuff they're going through, or where do you kind of see that going into this weekend?
Well, it's a good point about Danny. I mean, obviously he's won 2 national championships, so he's driven that road before and driven it really well. It's a long week. It's, everyone is euphoric around you. I think these first couple days, probably to enjoy it a little bit more and find out when you stop enjoying it, like later in the week. Is it the Wednesday or the Thursday? When do you get there? You can get there too soon. Danny probably has, I don't know if he's done the same travel each time, but how do you do that? How do you get adjusted there? And then while you're there, what access do you give the players to everyone else? Because everyone's going to want to be around them. You guys brought up a point about Lucas Oil and being in the dome and shooting. That's as good a place to play the Final Four as there is. I can remember our last Final Four there. We won 3 championships in Indy, 2 in Lucas Oil. And I remember walking up for I get chills thinking of it, walking up for the championship game and how beautiful it was. Like I'm saying, holy crap.
Thank you for saying this.
This is magnificent. I think it'll lift up all the kids. It's like Saturday's a moment in time for all these teams, and 4 champions under one roof. It's the best day in college basketball, and to do it in Indianapolis, where you can feel the tournament all the time, wherever you're walking, eating in Lucas Oil. Man.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, you're 100% right. Indy should host all of these.
Yeah, they should.
Every single time. Bring it to Indianapolis. Does Coach K have any say? He should. Here is the first look at Lucas Oil Stadium as it is getting pieced together. That stadium has hosted many things. Olympic swimming trials.
Mm-hmm.
They put an entire Olympic-sized pool in there that was deeper than France's pool, I think, whenever they put it in the stadium. Anytime they did basketball in there, your immediate thought is, I always hate the way a court looks inside a stadium. It looks stupid. They have that thing executed perfectly. They shut that thing down. It just looks like a massive basketball arena. It doesn't feel like you're too far away. It feels alive. And I appreciate you saying that, Coach. As somebody that's obviously played in there, that means a lot, obviously, coming from you. It feels like it's a great venue. It does feel like it's a great venue.
Nothing against all the other venues, but if they ever had a permanent home for it, it would be there.
Wow.
And by the way, the people who own the tournament are the NCAA. The NCAA owns the tournament, and that's where they're at. And maybe while the tournament's going on, they could meet and figure out how the hell to put guardrails and transparency.
Okay.
What the hell's going on?
Let's not try to deflect this because Duke's not in the Final Four. Okay, we know there's a lot of things to figure out. Final Four in Indianapolis will be incredible. Shout out to Scott Agnes on the photo there for it coming together. And we appreciate the hell out of you, Coach. Thank you for joining us. Please send our positive words to the Duke Blue Devils. And also a reminder, that was one of the biggest moments in the history of basketball last night. What happened?
Huge.
That was gigantic.
In there, you guys' positive words.
What's that?
I'm a Husky, baby.
He says no positive words to Shire from
No,
him.
you should be proud, man. I mean look, one of the reasons they won is on the court leadership. Caravan is magnificent. For him to make that shot, the 3 before, and then have the presence of mind to throw it to Mullins, not throw it, pass it to him. That was one of the great plays, the pass, not just the shot.
Obviously, there's pressure. There's a turnover. Mullins gets it, actually, says, let's give it to the senior, the guy that Coach Hurley has said the greatest player he's ever coached. And Mullins gets the ball back and say, you know what, I guess I got to do it.
Yep, ready.
It's a big time on the court leadership. He's as good as there is, the Caravan.
Have you ever forehead to forehead a ref and say, you know what? I think
times
I think we won the game, didn't we, bud? How's that go? You ever do one of those?
No, but I'm glad Roger Ayers, the official, handled it right. And that would have been
catastrophic for college hoops.
Maybe he had something on his nose.
That would, we don't know. We don't know if he said. What if
Coach's nose was itchy?
What if that's their handshake?
Could be.
What if they got a really good relationship?
Good game.
instead of, because COVID was taking us completely away from handshakes.
Yep.
Whenever they got on the other side of COVID, they decided we're going to kind of counter that. We're going to be as close as possible every time we see each other.
Yeah, they used to. Yeah.
Every time they nosies, they do every single time they see each other.
I think it's bopping heads. Bopping heads.
It is bopping heads, isn't it?
Well said, Coach.
Hey, first you bop the wood, then the heads start bopping. Then you got some real stuff going on. We appreciate the hell out of you, Coach.
All right. See you guys.
You're the man, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Krzyzewski.
Yeah, Coach.
Coach would have been proud of the putts I made yesterday.
Yeah, he would have.
I feel bad for
Coach a golfer?
He's bummed out.
Yeah, he's scratched.
I would assume so.
He's scratched.
All these, I don't know.
He's so lucky.
Saving golf's a lot of different sport.
Now that he's retired, he does a lot of the golfing. I think that's kind of his thing. There's a really cool looking guy kind of walking around in Air Forces. Have you guys seen him? He kind of
This guy?
Yeah.
Wow.
He looks really cool.
Like Michael Imperioli.
And then there was 3 cops that showed up very like stern looking as they walked down this bar here. I had eyes on them. I was wondering what's going on. And then you got to remind yourself, there's 31 billionaires here.
Yeah.
And they all have all their families here. So all of the securities that all of them have are all here. And you can sense it, that we are in a place that is good luck.
A lot of serious
basically.
people.
So the fact that we're in here is outrageous, I would say, Todd.
Yeah, without a doubt. It kind of it sets in when you're walking up there and they got these dogs sniffing everything. It's like, hey, this isn't some, Mickey Mouse dick around thing. This is very serious business. How much money do you think is in this hotel right now total?
I don't know.
I mean,
I thought about that as I was walking through because I'd see one billionaire walk by. And I'd go, damn, actually here. I'd say, actually here. Because I assume this would be one that a lot of people would just say, no, I'm not doing it.
Whatever.
But it feels like this is one where everybody like, hey, yeah, we actually got to do it. Now, I think they have it to a point where it's only at a couple spots, which I assume it is like very
hand-selected.
Yeah, like, hey, we need the rooms, we need this type of stuff, because obviously these people are living very good lives. Their leagues are the biggest on planet Earth. And coming into the league, some of these owners, wealthiest humans to ever exist. Yeah. So to have all that and for us to be here is pretty outrageous.
It's wild.
Very lucky to be here, very thankful to be here. And the decisions that are made here are literally a big deal. And I will say, Joe Buck, I just saw walk by.
Oh,
really?
Nice.
The Joe Buck?
McDonough was here.
Okay.
Yeah,
saw Tirico.
Mike
Italian Mike's here?
Yep.
Chris Collinsworth was here.
Okay.
Shut up.
Yeah, all the stars are right. Schrags.
Greg's.
Yeah, he's around here.
I guess Brady's got to be here then too, right?
He's owner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to be.
Do they bring
Brady's
one
private.
percenters?
Yeah, Brady's private.
Like, is Lynn Bin here?
Oh,
Lynn Ben's for sure here.
Lynn Bin owns this place, actually, the Biltmore.
I didn't know if 1%.
Lynn Bin, 1% purchaser of the Miami Dolphins recently for $125 million, which is a $12.5 billion valuation for a team that hasn't won a Super Bowl since
73?
1973.
74, maybe? Did you guys win it after the perfect year as well? I don't remember.
Yeah, the actual
72
year,
perfect,
74,
73,
but 73 season.
Okay, sounds good. So it's
long time. They haven't won a playoff game in, 26 years?
Gumpy, how's it going back there, pal? Had a little bit of a day yesterday. Gumpy did a little golf, did a little chatting, did a little insider, did a little networking. Him and Sal Capaccio caught up for a bit of a while. Gumpy, how we doing back there, pal?
Pretty good. A little bit of a runaway yesterday. It was about a 12-hour shift, I'd say. Pretty good run there. Pretty good run, boys.
I took a nap in the middle of it. I came back for your late shift, the old school days, the shipyard painting days when you're doing the third shift.
Close.
I'll tell you, I haven't seen Gumpy like that in a long time. Hey, Gumpy, you look like you had one yesterday. How could you not? We're celebrating football in the middle of March.
Amen.
Right, Gumps?
Yeah, it was a hell of a day on the course. Like, I've never seen a performance. That was the best round of golf I've ever seen. It was legit 10 fucking putts.
Yeah,
it was insane to watch. I was just driving around in the cart.
And Bean's hitting 3 woods.
He's as advertised?
Here.
Around trees.
He was so good.
Did you bring those shoes? Or
I bought everything you see there. I bought there.
That's a great looking outfit.
Thank you.
Came together.
Yeah.
Classic you.
Happy to see you out there, man.
Size 35.
Is that cow print? I'm just...
Flowers.
Okay.
Yeah, I brought the flowers to the desert, you know what I mean? Shoes, unbelievable. I would say a pro shop was a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Arizona Country Club is the name.
Floppy?
That's useful.
That was a flop right there. This one might have a little bit of a roll. Is the kid going to be able to knock it down? Yeah, he will. No problem. See you later. There's Bino going, there's Foxy saying, what's going on, man? And then everybody knows it's Spider X 250 Plus Unlimited. And whenever I'm holding that thing like a hockey stick, I'm rolling that thing. And I did a lot of research strictly from my mentions. There's me and Bino having a good time. I guess everybody's using this putter.
Yeah.
I was going to take it home because it was a rental thing. After the round, I went and put it on the counter.
Sure.
At the pro shop. I said, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I need you guys to figure out what I need to pay you for this.
Yep.
Come back out of the bathroom. They say $100. I say,
what?
You could have got.
Yeah.
You're the proud
I'd have given you
owner of that club now?
5,000.
So now that golf club with no head cover, okay, no nothing.
Good. I'll need it. Good.
Certainly used is now in the hotel room right now. Currently.
Oh, nice.
Boom.
Don't forget it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have that thing forever. Best round of golf I've played.
Looked like it.
First round of golf I played. Maybe we're doing golf this year, boys.
Here we go.
Maybe we're doing golf. Putters used by PGA Tour winners. Spider, Phantom. Spider. So
wow.
I think it makes sense. I think that thing, I don't know what it was doing, but it felt like it was kind of rolling for itself, and we had a great time. Waymo on
Yep.
that thing, no driver in there. Speaking of, hey, Tiger.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Tiger, enough, dude. Okay? For society, for your legacy, for everything. You suck at driving. Okay? You're ass at it. I don't like this. I don't like the conversations that are being forced to happen about you. Okay? This is reckless. 2026. We got this shit just fucking pulling up here. This thing had to get through 2 security checkpoints. Stopped, put a hand up, waved, got itself through there. That's where we're at in 2026. Yeah. Come on.
You could probably put that technology in his Buick.
Or a Rolls Royce or fucking anything.
Sure. Yeah.
That is the conversation that I think, that's my take on this. Incredibly dangerous. I've had friends, obviously, that have passed away from DUIs, but driving and victims of the entire thing. I've been around the generation of people that thought they were okay driving as they were completely intoxicated because, through our lives, this has basically become something that's very real. And it's like, dude, you suck. You suck at it. Like, you're not. This is nowhere near a thought that should continue to happen. And maybe, who knows what's going to come out. Maybe he just fell asleep. Maybe something like that happened. But whatever the case, feels like I hear about it too much. And I'm done hearing about it. You're the fucking greatest golfer of all time. Okay, you worked your ass off, dude. You woke up at like 3 a.m. every single day to do all the shit that you did. You carried golf on your big red shoulders every single Sunday. You're on the prowl for the golf. You took it to a place that was crazy. What you are in the sports conversation as an athlete is GOAT. GOAT, absolute GOAT of everything. So let's stop with the bullshit that doesn't have to happen, okay? Because this is not something that you should be doing. And it's not something that we should be trying to let other people know it's okay. We got robots driving everywhere right now. Figure it out. That's what I would like to say about Tiger Woods. I feel like we had to talk about it.
Love you, Tiger.
Yes, exactly. That is where this is getting like, hey, dude, come on. You are huge for sports. You are huge for our story, for golf, for everything. So let's figure it out, Tiger.
Yeah,
let's
figure
this out. I don't like seeing it.
No,
I just think that driving, it makes him maybe feel normal. Or
Tony, stop it. All right?
Come on.
Serious moment.
There was an interesting reaction.
Yeah, there was.
There certainly was.
I hope he does figure it out, though. Whatever that is. Who knows? Who knows the entire story? I know he blew 000s, and the cops said they felt this and that about him. But hopefully he figures out whatever. He obviously he's an all-time great athlete. He's human. He has his battles, so hopefully he figures it out. And we need you. We need you around, Tiger.
Yes, we do.
I'm
sick of seeing and hearing about him potentially dying as he's driving. I don't like this.
Exactly. You don't want the first thing associated with Tiger to be this type of stuff now. He's had his issues in the past, but you don't want to ruin your entire legacy where the first thing people mention with it is not how many majors it's won. It's like, this guy has 10 DUIs.
Have Sunday red. Okay? Get a robot vehicle.
Yeah.
Tiger Mobile. Okay? The Sunday red mobile. You can maybe create it.
Yeah.
Just you own the car. Congratulations. You have a vehicle you can sell for other people.
Orange with stripes. This is something that...
Oh, because the Tiger.
Yeah.
I thought you were thinking maybe red because that's kind of his entire...
That'd be cool, too. I just figured Tiger moving.
Yep.
I feel like they probably had this conversation with, Babe Ruth, 100 years ago. Like, hey, babe, you can't be driving. It's 2026.
We got this robot
just
showed up right here.
Sure, or you know what? You could actually probably pick someone you like. Just give them a salary and have them drive you around that you enjoy being around. What are we even talking about here?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. Come on.
Figure it out.
Come
Figure it
on,
out,
dude.
Ty.
That's real. Come on, man. You're great for sport. You did incredible things for golf. Every time you're around, the needle moves for sport. Let's continue that, okay? Let's be smart. Let's not die. How about that? And let's not kill anybody.
Bingo.
That would be great. Some other things we have not talked about. There are some quotes that have come out of the meetings behind us. Now, these meetings they're all in sessions right now. They are literally all in sessions right now. There's actual voting and presentations happening. Now, the YouTube trends person, I didn't know that person's doing it.
Yeah, I'd like to see them.
That was kind of an interesting little drop there by Carly Urso. We don't know who's all talking there, but we do know a lot of people talked this morning. Andrew Berry, Cleveland Browns GM, he had this to say about the Myles Garrett's going to be traded because they renegotiated and redid his deal. One of the greatest lines I've heard in some time.
I'd say this, Mary Kay. Myles is a career Brown. He is one of the faces of our organization. I think we've been very clear, both past and present, in terms of our feelings on it. So I understand all the questions. I'll be honest, I don't really want to waste a ton more breath on the topic. Yeah. Sure.
There's only a limited amount of air around. Okay, I'm done wasting breath on this topic. I love that he came out that strong, and I assume that he is telling the truth.
Yeah.
That's right. I know Andrew Berry. We knew Andrew Berry whenever he was with the Colts. He does look more jacked.
Yeah. Great shape.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Andrew Berry.
birthday,
Birthday, Andrew.
Rooting for you, Andrew.
Happy birthday, Andrew Berry. But it sounds like he's about done with it all. And it sounds like they're going to be keeping Myles Garrett no matter what they do with the contract.
Yeah, and those conversations will they'll be here, at least for the foreseeable future, because of who Myles Garrett has been, how he attacks his social media when he wants to get messaging out. And then whenever you rework a contract, you're always trying to look and see, okay, what's the writing on the wall? So that's what he's saying now. I believe him. Shefty, the last time he was on here, he said it as well. And obviously we know things change. So next year could be a different conversation and different answer, or the year after that. But you have one of the all-time great defenders at a very premium position. So, yeah, I would think the Cleveland Browns and Andrew Berry want to keep him as long as humanly possible.
And Andrew Berry, he's been through it. Nah,
Oh,
he got hired really young. We thought he was potentially going to get the Colts gig.
Yep.
Whenever the general manager, he was been like 25, maybe 24, would have been very early, but always very obvious that he was on the trajectory to become a general manager. Former quarterback at Harvard, I do believe, cut his teeth in the scouting world, used to drive around, would spin it during workouts for the free agent workouts,
Right.
whatever the case is. He loved ball, and everybody loved him. I don't remember a single person that had anything negative to say about him. I've seen him have a good time too. Like I think he's like built for the job.
Yeah.
Now the job that he has done and had,
Tough.
there's been some shit now.
Really
There's been a quarterback that took you to the playoffs and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoffs, and then you kind of kick him out. Then obviously there's a deal that changes football forever in the Deshaun Watson $230 million negotiation, fully guaranteed, that David Mulligeta did for the Cleveland Browns to get back in the conversation, get Deshaun with everything that was happening around it. And that being said, that it came from ownership, so he's been hamstrung by this deal forever. It's like Andrew Berry's run as general manager has been very fascinating, and I, as fan of his and old friend of his, I think he's got a future that I think he's being told he has by ownership. Okay, like because of the Deshaun deal, I think that has kind of been promised. If Stefanski's out, this is obviously like your thing. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know if they know who their quarterback is. I don't know if they know anything, but I think he does know that Myles Garrett's going to be his guy, and we paid him $40 million a year to do as such.
Yeah, well, and also like the Baker stuff, everything we've heard is that was kind of like a Baker Stefanski thing, so he may not have even had any say in that. So it's kind of difficult when the most important position in sports and the most important position on your team, you don't really have any say in who that guy is, and then you have to answer all the questions when you're not any good. It's like, well, there's not a whole lot I can do here.
And now that he's got his draft picks back, like last year he had Mason Graham, who was unbelievable, and then Schlesinger won Defensive Player of the Year, and then Quinshon Judkins was the best rookie running back, or one of the best rookie. Yeah, and like they had a great draft class. Like, so yes, when he has not been hamstrung, he's been a solid GM.
Hey, he can spin it too.
Got a couple years here to build it too. You got a new head coach, so you got a completely new chapter. And we just had Brandon Beane on here. He's under a different type of pressure. You got to win it and win it now. And then Andrew Berry, he's got to build that winner, because Cleveland, I mean, they've never had that. So you just want to see some hope and get better and better.
Listen to Beane talk to us, because we're boozing a little bit.
Sure,
having a good time, of course. Yeah. Bean, you ever going to win a Super Bowl up there? Or? You know, just kind of drop one of those. He goes, believe me, I know. Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah, I know. He knows. It's like everybody in there knows. Hopefully, everybody in there knows, especially with the way the league is going. This is an incredible time to be a part of football, and we're lucky that we are a tiny little part of it. Now, we will be here tomorrow after tonight's big networking event. What will we learn? Who knows? Now, see that?
Yeah.
The tease.
Yep.
Little cliffhanger. Camelback Mountains got me thinking about the cliffs.
That's right.
I was thinking about hiking the tall part of that.
Nah, don't do that.
That'd be sweet.
How long that thought last?
We had some serious combos about it yesterday.
Are you going too?
Y'all were boozing for real.
Yes, you were.
Why don't we climb that thing tomorrow?
It's so
We were
big.
told 1 hour up, 1 hour down. It's not too bad. I said, "Yup, sign me up."
Yeah, and I said I'd do 1 hour up, 1 hour down. And then Bailey McComas this morning was like, I was actually poking around. 5 hours round trip is what he said. It's like, well, who's fucking lying? Somebody's lying out here.
Well, who told you one up, one down?
AQ show.
Oh, that guy's definitely lying.
What?
Why does everyone say that about him?
He's a bird.
AQ looks like a hiker.
He is a bird. You're right. He knows the ins and outs of Camelback. Remember,
Was that sarcastic?
What?
That you said he looks like a hiker?
He does. He has the body built for hiking. You think about hiking, you look at AQ and say, that's how
He does have
hikers are built.
those gimmick shoes that he can, like,
Boom.
you know.
I don't think he's in that stage of his life anymore. Remember?
Not.
Maybe like a boulder on a hike.
I'll tell you what, he took care of us out there at Arizona Country Club.
How do you play?
He took care. He was doing a lot of talking. He was talking pretty good there early. He had a lot of good talking.
Moving
I
shadow.
think you would say, Fogg. Yeah, moving the shadow over the holes.
He played good. I think I even played good. You guys just played outstanding. It was honestly very fun to watch. It was a great round of golf.
Yeah, well, it was. I couldn't drive for anything. I got 2 drives that we used, but Bino pounds the ball.
That's why you got Beano.
Yep.
Pounds the.
It's fair teams.
What did Gump shoot?
I think it was fair teams. Gump had a perfect game. Gump, didn't you have a perfect game? No, you missed that one. Oh,
I shot an 18, I think.
Holy shit.
It's a pretty good day.
Speaking of perfect game.
I wish. All right, we're going to take a break. On the other side, we got Coach Mike McCarthy of the Pittsburgh Steelers joining us. He just hopped through a bush over here. Hey, I just watched him pop.
Who put that there?
Can you go to this back camera? Oh, no, not yet. We're going to take a break. We're going to take a break real quick. Is that okay? All right, we're going to take a break. Can you put this back camera on to show these bushes that are just right down the line? This camera back here.
Yes, 1 second.
Okay. That's all right. We'll get it next time. Yeah, so those bushes right there. I just watched Mike McCarthy hop out.
Yep.
Bushes start shaking and him bat himself off right there, literally as we were speaking. I think he's pretty pumped to talk. We cannot wait to catch up with him.
Yes.
New head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Yinzer legend, Super Bowl champion. Mike McCarthy will join us live from the league meetings here at the Biltmore in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. Take 5. Jack, you got anything to say to the team here?
Oh, man, you guys keep crushing and firing everybody up. It's bigger than you guys, and you guys are the friggin' best.
Boom.
Thank you, Jack.
That's amazing.
Yes.
God damn, I needed that.
Got back in shape. I was the best shape of my life. I felt like I just throw people through walls. Oh, shit. What's happening? What is this?
What the fuck is this?
We interrupt your regular programming with breaking news.
We have reports of a UAP approaching Indianapolis. They have messaged to officials they are coming to take over the world.
Government agencies have been alerted that they plan to land and activate Earth's Armageddon switch.
This is literally the scariest situation imaginable, a true doomsday scenario. Please stay calm, seek shelter immediately, and pray to whatever God or higher power you believe in.
What is that?
What? Landed here?
I think Indianapolis. What? So that can't be.
We gotta go find these motherfuckers.
Yeah?
That's what we need to do.
I think it sounds like something you should do. Jack Carr, yeah. I don't know. We need to.
Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
All right, yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's. Fuck these pieces of shit.
Let's go.
Mismatch.
You're going to get nice and beat up when I see you.
So we got a little lighter too. We can do. Are the greatest, and ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a living legend, a multiple Super Bowl winner, a man who's a friend of the program, a Yinzer who is now in charge of the Yinzers team, head coach of Pittsburgh Steelers. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Mike McCarthy. Oh, he's bringing a gift. Oh, he's bringing a gift. He's bringing a cake.
What?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we got a little lighter, too. We can do this.
Who's that for, Andrew Barry?
Wow.
In there.
It's not for Andrew Barry.
Wow.
It's not for Andrew Barry. Coach,
no idea.
Thank you for doing this. Tone from the city of Pittsburgh. Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Wow.
Happy
birthday, Tone.
Thank you,
Blow those
Coach.
out before the wind does. Of course, yeah. Happy
birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Coach.
Happy birthday, dear Tony. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Tony.
Thanks, boys. Thank you, boys.
I kept
Thanks,
that
fellas.
secret.
Appreciate
I
that.
kept that secret.
Yeah, I feel like a real dickhead. Happy birthday, Tony.
You didn't know?
No, I didn't.
I was hoping nobody knew.
I knew. 10 minutes ago.
Coach, I know with your size brain, this could be offensive, but put that up over top there.
Why don't you grab a fistful?
Perfect. Coach, thank you for bringing that cake for Tone.
Oh, absolutely.
He's going to obviously love that even more because
Thank
he's
you,
the
Coach.
Pittsburgh Steelers head coach, let alone a Yinzer who is the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. We saw your emotional press conference. Okay, we've obviously gotten a chance to follow along. You are the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
How is it? I don't know how many days you're into the job, but how has it been kind of acclimating yourself back to being Super Yinzer, which is what the head coach of the Steelers is, basically?
Well, I mean, it's great to be back in Pittsburgh, but I think it's like anything else. Once you get past the press conference and you dive in there and get to work. So it's the organization's been phenomenal, and just hiring the coaching staff, just go through the everyday stuff. But it's really still surreal in a lot of ways. I can see my neighborhood from from my office window. So I'm back living at home. I live in the basement with my parents, so that's really cool. But to be with them, just at this point in their lives, they're 88 and 84 years old. So yeah, it's been really cool.
Yeah, it felt like that was a really emotional trigger for you at the press conference. And then I think a lot of Yinzers started seeing like the human that you are, the Yinzer that you are. And you talk about being able to see your neighborhood. I think AJ and everybody's told us that you had pictures of your neighborhood in your other offices at other places. So we're happy you're getting a chance to experience being back home as the head coach. Now, obviously, got a lot you got to figure out. Team won the AFC North last year, but obviously did not do well in the playoffs. That has been the story of the Steelers for a long time. What has been your mentality as you address the building on what the expectations are, and how do you kind of get to that?
Well, I think it's this is my third time doing it, so I think through experience, you definitely, when you walk in there, there's so much greatness just as you come up the steps every day, and I think you just got to be in tune with that. To have the opportunity to work in Green Bay with an incredible history and tradition, the same in Dallas, you have to. You got to embrace it, but also you got to make it your own. You got to build your program. So working with Art Rooney, Dan Rooney, and Omar, we've really just gone step by step and looked at everything. And a lot of things you want to keep and build off of what they've done in the past. But then there's a new way. So there's a new language. Really looking forward to getting with the players here next week. They'll come in for phase one, and hopefully get to see all those guys and just tell them, this is just the way we operate and want to connect and get our program in place. Because, we all teach, we all teach fundamentals as coaches. We all have similar plays, but it's how you do it. It's your process. Everybody has a plan, but, we teach systems. We want to get our system in place and on everything we do. Be proactive with our adjustments and get that in the hands of our players as fast as we can.
You win a lot. I mean, that is well documented that you win a lot. In Dallas, got to win a Super Bowl. Doesn't matter if you win 12 games a season which is crazy to think about.
Yeah,
multiple times.
But it's crazy.
Three times.
It's crazy to think about that is the case. But you got to win a Super Bowl. That is what it's like at the places that you've only head coached: Green Bay, Dallas, and Pittsburgh. There's going to be a lot of pressure. You talk about meeting with the guys here whenever they get into the building. Have you been texting guys, like at FaceTime? Like what is your kind of role with, especially with the stars of the team or not, studs of the team?
Yeah, I think it's important. Want to touch bases. What's really nice is as guys have been coming in town, they stop in. So, as the coaches were being, the staff as we were coming together, it's trying to touch base with everybody, as we get acclimated. But to be honest with you, really taking a hard dive, going through this a third time. Like for instance, on offense, I end up keeping more of the terminology and language of the past, just trying to, because I am conscientious. You've been through that. You don't want to make it totally brand new if you don't have to.
So you're learning their lingo.
Well, like on defense, that system's been there since 1992. Bill Cowher and Don Capers put it in. Don worked for us in Green Bay, so you're very familiar. We have guys that have played in that system, coached in that system. So, we don't want to just tear it all down and call yellow blue when it's been yellow since 1992. So, but just being in tune with, because at the end of the day, it's about communication and connection. So as soon as we can get the communication and the connection right, then the confidence comes. And at the end of the day, I think, football is all about who's the most confident when the ball snapped.
Yeah, because it gets a little slippy when you get in time and communication's kind of down there. You know what I mean? Then you put a gum band around it, and then you kind of circle back to that thing, and then you're talking about this and that, and you got a lot going on down there.
Down there.
Isn't that kind of what it is like?
Gum band, huh?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, did you put it in the buggy? Did you put it in the buggy down there? Did you? Yeah, okay. You have a good time. You are super Yinzer right now. You know that.
I'm a Pittsburgh guy.
No, but
that's what my generation is called. So it's. I just like to correct him when I get a chance.
Just know you're hero Yinzer right now, living everybody's dream. You talk about talking to the players whenever they come down, whenever they get in the town down there. Can we talk about you talking to your potential quarterback that you might know a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
AFC coaches sit in a really uncomfortable room in a building right over there tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Okay, I walked in there this morning for the NFC one.
What's so uncomfortable about it?
What? How many people were? I didn't know how many people. Did you know how many people were in it? I guess you would. I had no idea. It's every local media person, basically from every single city, is here. Look at this. It is packed out. I thought we were going to go in there because I've seen pictures before of like coaches sitting there and nobody around them. I thought that's what I was walking into. I thought this was like a super.
Yeah, that's not a good sign, though.
For you tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope there's no one in my team.
No, it's going to be packed.
A lot of that.
Packed. But you know what you're going to get asked the entire time.
Oh, that's okay.
Do you know what you're going to get asked, though?
Just what a great job you did on the Mcafee show, hanging out with the guys.
Okay, that's first question. Let's go to the next one.
Which you did.
Let's go to the next one. You did do that. That would be an accurate report.
Yep. Absolutely.
What do you think the next question would be?
No, you always talk about the quarterback, right?
Yeah, and they would say
quarterback league.
They would say, "Hey, Aaron Rodgers said that I haven't even really heard from everybody wants me to make a decision. I haven't really heard from the Steelers," which led us to believe, like, okay, maybe they're both kind of going through processes right now to figure it out. Aaron trying to figure out whether or not he wants to play. You guys figuring out when the right time to talk to Aaron. Obviously, you have great relationships with Aaron as well on what it is. How do you kind of juggle all that that's happening right now? Because that is what you're going to get 100 questions about that tomorrow.
I've talked to Aaron regularly, and we'll continue to do so, and we're just working through it, and when it's time to fully address it, we will. But it's a process that he's going through, and I'm comfortable with it. But we've had very, very positive conversations on a weekly basis.
His offense that he loves is the offense you put into his life.
Yeah.
He's called it many times beautiful. The West Coast offense is beautiful, and it does this. And he says the modern game is missing out on this. I think he would write maybe a book about the beauty of the West Coast. Like, I think he would actually do that the way he's talked about it in the past. That is obviously an offense that you know very, very well. That feels like simpatico conversations that you're having, or are you going to take...
Oh, yeah.
Because you just talked about systems that have been in place versus what hasn't been in place. If Aaron's your quarterback, it feels like you have everything at your disposal right in the history of your offense. Is that true, or is your offense...
Yeah, definitely.
changed?
The offense is, it's what I believe in. It's, obviously... what he believes in. So that part's already being built on a daily basis with the coaches. So we're just we're getting geared up for when we can meet with our guys next week. So
he's doing it right. It's got to be. It just makes too much sense.
100%.
Why would he not want to showcase the offense that he has been singing the praises of every single time he spoke about it, especially with winning the AFC North last year with how the year went.
Yeah. A bunch of his former head coach and a bunch of other guys who are in Green Bay who he presumably has good relationships with. Seems like it'd just be a fun year.
That feels like the right.
Yeah.
No, it's.
Is that what you're saying to him though? Is that like the conversations you're having a part of everything?
Oh yeah, he knows. He talks to the coaches that are there, and there's a lot of very positive, healthy communication going on.
Okay.
Positive health.
Good
Weekly.
Good for you. Go ahead, D-Buck.
Yeah, we talked about your previous stops. So now Packers, Cowboys, and now Steelers. How is it addressing the team for the first time as a head coach? Because obviously you know the building, you know the city, but now this is your team. We always talk about presence and command in the room, which obviously you have no problem doing that. But how do you go? What's that process leading up? Is it something you write down or notes? Do you practice it in the mirror? Like, how does this go?
Oh yeah.
No, that's a great question because. I could still remember. I think it was March 15th, 2006. The first time I addressed the full team, and when I walked in there in Green Bay, and I was a little under the weather, and I stood up front, and I'm thinking, oh shit, there's a lot of people in there because I've not been a coordinator, but gosh, it was just it was a moment. It is actually something I've shared with all the assistants that have worked with me, and we have a program, you can call it, that we have General of the Week, where we let the assistant coach talk on Fridays, 8 to 10 minutes, and he gets to present his why or something in line with our messaging, and it's really came from that experience because I thought, boy, if I can give an assistant coach, or because as a coordinator you get to talk in front of a big group a lot, but for a position coach to do that, and it's been awesome to watch younger coaches over the last 20 years do that and see them do it the first time and do it the second time, so forth. So, but to answer your question specifically, I'm looking forward to it. I really am, and every team meeting room's different, and it's no different here. So, but yeah, I'm ready to go, and what I've learned is less is better. Less volume, more creativity is a coaching principle I believe in, and I think it's important. Because I think we all get up there and. We want to talk and say more than we probably should. So, but I'm looking forward to getting in front of the team.
Yeah, he wants to run scoreboard up. I know what we all want. We all want to run scoreboard up.
Yeah, right.
Yes, we certainly.
When I'm calling the plays, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. What you're back doing, right? Yeah. You're calling plays next year.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because you were calling plays and you weren't calling plays. You're calling plays, not calling plays. You could be a CEO, is what they always say, if you're not calling the plays.
Yeah, it's philosophical. Clearly, I didn't call them twice in my career, and I think they clearly were the right decisions. When I did in 15 and did it in 2020 to 2022. So you learn from that and so forth. But I think it's important to, as a head coach. When you bring something specific to the table, that your team reflects that. And when I did make a decision the other two times, I felt like the offenses were successful. So I didn't feel like it was not the right decision. So, but this is we want to play a certain way on offense. We're an outdoor team. Which I'm back to the Green Bay days as opposed to being an indoor team in Dallas. So. With that comes, different thought process and how you may look at certain things. So, but yeah, that's why I'm going to call.
You see, there's no PFF for that. Congrats, Collinsworth. By the way, heard there's a big acquisition that just happened. $100 million. I didn't read the article, but I saw $100 million and Chris Collinsworth and PFF in there. Congratulations to him.
Still bringing it.
Yeah, still bringing it.
Great product.
You being sarcastic?
No,
you don't like it.
Well, I know.
Yeah, I like it.
I know mathematics
Players
is
don't
the
love
universe of.
Language of the universe.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was
Galileo.
I like it as a tool.
I like it as a tool as well.
It's a tool. It's a good tool.
Yeah, I think it's a good tool. I don't like the rankings of guys on Sunday Night Football. I don't think I love that.
That's not what I use it for.
Well, if you watch the games, which we do as fans, I watch with sound, you watch without sound because you're watching film. I'm just watching the game in its entirety. But yeah, congrats to this. You're watching the game. Sorry, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. You're actually watching. I'm just kind of watching, if that makes sense. But the PFF can't judge like, hey, in Dallas we have an indoor team. Okay, majority of our games are happening in great weather, great footing, great, everything like that. Let's build the team as such. AFC North football, outdoor football, different. I think that's like that's the shit that I think some people get lost in and don't have a good feel for, and inevitably it just doesn't work out. And people are like, why didn't it work out? It's like, well, you got to match the culture, I think, of where you're at. That feels like something you definitely think about, which I like.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I think we all do.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said.
Which is Pittsburgh's going to be proud of your team.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, yeah, man, it's part of the fabric. I mean, it's so neat when you do sit down with some of the younger people. Is when you're in the facility, you're literally sitting where a steel mill used to be. Because when I was a kid, I drive down Greenfield Avenue, 2nd Avenue, across the Meadow Bridge, and go down Water Street to go to work every day. That was all mills, back in the 70s and into the mid 80s. So it is part of the fabric. Is the point I'm making. I mean, there's an identity of how Pittsburgh Steeler football is, and it's at the core, and I'm just thrilled to be part of it.
What's your alarm? Is it? Oh, mama, I'm feeling all my life from the long arm of the law.
You guys, you don't even practice this stuff, too.
We practice live. Yeah, that one's happened a lot. But that's 3 songs we haven't got you to buy in. Happy birthday, the other one, and that one. We'll get happy birthday he sung because he felt
to learn the words.
Birthday boy has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach. Obviously, Coach Tomlin was there for a very, very long time, 18 years or whatever, and had a lot of success. And then you have guys who were with him and Cam and TJ. Like when you go in there and you get a feel of the building, will you use those veterans to, I don't want to say change the building or change the locker room, but maybe we'll use them to kind of instill what you believe in and things differently than Coach Tomlin did?
Definitely. I think you got to use everybody, and they have an experience, and that they're assets to what you're trying to build, no doubt about it. And but also, we have 12 picks. We have 12 draft picks. So, and A.J. Hawk was my first ever draft pick.
Good pick, Coach.
God bless him. You see him on the spray tan? He looks good still.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Spray tan, huh?
Yeah, he did. He showed up on Friday with one. It was crazy. He looked so handsome.
Yeah.
That's real.
You'd be proud of him.
His teeth so white.
Oh,
with
my
that
God.
spray tan. Nice little trick for
Older guys.
colored folks as well.
I'll have to get to that, yeah.
Maybe first game. Come out, spray tan with those teeth.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is
Great draft pick. Okay.
Great draft.
Great draft pick.
Yeah.
C.D. Lamb was our first pick in Dallas.
That also worked out.
2-0. Yeah, definitely. I just think that first class is important. When you're building a program, the veterans and what's there, and when we start next week, they will impact, the success of our football team in this upcoming year. But to get them guys connected and show this young group coming in is I think it's extremely important.
Yeah, Coach, speaking of the draft, obviously, this is – I don't know if it changes anything with it being in Pittsburgh, being the host city. I'm sure there's a lot of other bullshit that you have to do that maybe you wouldn't normally have to do.
Wednesday night, by the way, we need you.
Yeah, exactly. But when it comes to this draft class, you were on the show with us in January before you got the job. Like, how much have you kept up on – this particular class? Is that something where you're relying on the scouts a lot more than maybe you would in the past? Like, have you really, I assume obviously you've dove in quite a bit. The draft's right around the corner, but just looking at this draft class, like how did that process go? Is there anyone you really like? And was it different than years past? Who you taking?
It's
and who are you taking? Our draft spectacular. That would help us out a lot.
Yeah,
please.
Tell us.
Speed dial, yeah. I'll keep you on there. But I think the biggest thing is, every opportunity's been different for me. Green Bay, Dallas, and but yes, we spent a lot of time in the draft process. I was able to sit in with the scouts before we went to the combine. We took a lap through most of the positions. Didn't get as many of the pro days as we had scheduled. We were originally scheduled to go to 6 of them. We just because of a bunch of other things moving around, we just made the one down there in Georgia. But we're very, very involved. And when we get back, we have our final draft meetings with the coaches that we'll go through. So, we've been working hand in hand, splitting our time. Not really splitting our time, probably 60-40 on, football, versus draft. So, but yeah, this is a big draft for us. But as far as being in Pittsburgh, you're just so locked into what you're doing, and it's a couple miles down the river there. So, but it looks to be incredible. I know that. Hey, they canceled school.
Yeah.
People aren't happy about that don't get it. I don't even want to talk to them. They don't get it. That's why the football town Wednesday night. We'll see you there.
We need you to come through.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, definitely.
Nah, and don't ruffle any feathers. Of course, we don't want any of that shit. But we would love to have you there. Football time.
What's that mean?
Like if
you're supposed to go some
somewhere else.
hobnobby.
You're supposed to
dinner.
go some uppity, super.
With suits.
Yeah,
exactly.
A lot of them in there, aren't they? They're all in there.
I like my new job, Pat.
Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, draft, free agent, also adding players through trades this offseason for you guys, especially establishing culture. Did you listen to everything Pat had to say about Michael Pittman Jr. last year and then just say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell Omar Khan we need to bring this guy in for our own culture? And also, how much does it help having kind of two number ones, being able to partner him up with DK Metcalf for whoever is a quarterback? Having those two guys is going to help out a lot.
No, definitely. I mean, Pat's influence is huge in every personnel decision that we make.
Hell yeah. I would like a fee.
How you want paid?
Yeah. Yeah. I would. Talk to you, Bert. Bert Lott.
That's the guy who
figure that out. No.
Bert will get it done. But no, Michael, I frankly loved him coming out in the draft. He was someone that we had rated very highly in Dallas. And if you remember, CD, fell to us, which we thought. So, but yeah, watching his career and just, the way that whole deal came available, you got to give Omar a ton of credit. He was watching that situation, and then they timed up great. So he's perfect. He's the way I love to play. He's bigger target, can play all three spots. He can play the X, Z, and the F. Move him around. So, and that's just the way we like to play football. We like to play concept football and keep moving our guys around and try to create matchups.
You just said bigger target. Have you imagined what you're going to do with Darnell Washington yet?
Big target.
Yeah.
Big target. No, and Pat also. They just tight ends, outdoor football, which Pat's already alluded to. I think it's important, and that's the way the team's supposed to look.
You alluded to it. Not me. I'm just a parrot. Just speaking what I'm hearing. And what I'm hearing is Yinzers are excited for the McCarthy era. I can't wait to watch you and Renegade do that down there at Acrisure.
We got to get to work time. Yep.
Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life. Okay, so it's, oh, mama, I'm in fear.
Okay, I'll work on it.
You on the sideline.
In the Shire.
Yeah, that's the right place to do it, down there at Shire. Yeah, you're right. The coach's photo is about to happen, I think, right? Are they setting up for that? How do you plan who you sit next to? Is it assigned seating? Or are you trying to find somebody to sit next to?
Do push-ups before?
You need to sit next to both LaFleurs.
Yeah.
Body them both.
No, you just find your spot and take the pictures. So don't really put a whole lot of thought into it. I got more important things to do during the day.
Yeah, what are we figuring out the refs? We figuring out 18 season? We got what type of stuff do the coaches handle here?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I've always enjoyed coming to the owners' meeting because it's very informative. Obviously there's a lot of dialogue. You see the direction, of how things go. I think my first one ever in 2006 was here at the Biltmore. So it's always a good experience. I mean, there's not a lot of topics compared to other years, this year. But, yeah, it's a lot of things that you just, it's not my responsibility to talk about outside the room.
Do you get to stand up there and, talk in front of everybody about the refs and basically say, hey, I went through this bullshit once before. I got a fucking loss on my record because of
the Phil Mary?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
They should be listening to you maybe more so than anybody else on this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think technology would take care of that today. I'm being, the optimist.
Okay.
Because it can't.
I can't say that.
Can't go back.
Yeah, I don't want to lose your job. We get it. I think you're missing a photo, actually, as we speak right now. The boys are all dapping each other up.
That's the GMs. I think I go first.
No,
I see Andy Reid sitting down.
I see all the coaches.
All right, well, I got to go there.
Yeah, yes, you do. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, head coach of Pittsburgh Steelers, friend of the program. We appreciate you. Proud of you, ladies and gentlemen. Mike
Thanks, guys.
Coach.
Love you, Coach.
Good luck out there. Make sure you can get a good spot out there. Let's not be next to Dan Campbell or Vrabes. You know what I mean? LaFleur's super attractive. Maybe don't sit, Get next to Liam Cohen looks so cool.
Look at those pants.
Oh, my God. Liam Cohen looks so cool.
Look at him.
Yeah, look how cool this dude looks.
This guy.
Dude, you look so cool. Hopefully you'll join us.
I bet him and Salah already went forehead to forehead.
They're doing the Hurley. That's what they're calling it.
Yeah.
Hurley. I
You want
like
to do the
that.
Hurley? You want to do the Hurley?
What a
As the boys
idiot.
file in for the notorious annual head coach's photo, Liam Cohen just shook the hand of Jim Harbaugh. Obviously, he looked incredibly cool. Burt Lawton is in the suit there, walking behind Mike McCarthy as they make their way. Burt Lawton, the Yinzer legend and Pittsburgh Steelers staple. He has a bald head, not worried about the Arizona sun. I thought that was an aggressive decision. We'll see who sits next to who likes who hates who. That was going to be the question I was going to have for the NFC coaches when I went in there. Wasn't able to ask it because the place was too packed.
Oh, Coach Mike got on the edge.
Yeah, he just
too.
went and stood on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, smart play.
nope,
Liam
him
Cohen
got him.
next.
Oh, Nick got him.
Mike McDonald right in the middle. This is my league now, boys.
Kaboli posted a photo of Sirianni, who just walked by everybody there.
It was breaking, yeah.
Yeah, it did not look as flattering as him walking.
No.
He looks pretty jacked right now. He looks like he's got some diesel, maybe some science running through his veins. That was a rude photo of Kaboli. And if he's super jacked and has any tub at all, he's obviously going to look like he's sitting down. Sirianni was exposed here. When we just saw him walk by, I think we got a little diesel maybe running through the Sirianni.
He's absolutely jacked, and you just mentioned it. I think we know, who Sirianni's first doing the Hurley is going to be with. He's going to walk over to Kaboli whenever he's done with this and get in his face.
Dan Morgan straight back here in front of the hotel. I don't know if we should be shooting everybody, actually. There's a lot of... Dan Morgan has a 12er in at least. Probably two of them if I had to guess. All right, it feels like it's really getting after it. We're going to go say hello.
Oh, Vrabes.
Let's go photo bomb.
Yeah.
Front, center, jacked.
Go back to the coach's photo, please. Can we go back to the coach's photo?
Going wide
Scott's
spread.
Right next to Halfley.
I was going to say,
White pants on. How you doing?
He's making Halfley bump his knees together.
Right next to Sean Payton in shorts.
Sean Payton's going to body him back, I would assume. If I know anything about Sean Payton, he's not going to let that happen. Yeah, he's going.
Braves
is really
moving.
Braves has put both arms on the armrest. He has put both on the plane.
Imagine him in the middle seat on the plane.
On the bus.
That's my head ball coach.
Aaron Glenn kind of.
Now we got a guy just standing right in front.
dogging.
Okay, he looks sweet. Congrats to all the coaches. You guys are head coach in the NFL. Vrabel is not budget.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Sean Payton's going to have to work. He's going to have to get leverage there.
Yeah.
Loman's going to win.
See Vrabes gripping up. I believe it was Ian Nacho, the left tackle from Arizona State, or right tackle. He was doing it.
Yeah, I wonder about that actually, because I think that's quite an advantage that
legal.
he's able to get
That's
an actual
tampering.
hand. Now, granted, I don't want to say it.
Yeah, get your weight up, other coaches.
Well, he did it to Will Campbell as well.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe he thought Will has it somewhere, because Will obviously struggled with some things. But Vrabel is the only guy that we see getting after it with these offensive linemen, who would, in theory, technically be able to feel if guy knows leverage, power, what type of feel he has. So with that being said, I have faith in Will Campbell in long term. And if he likes this guy, I assume he's going to have it, because Vrabel's literally had to do it for his entire career.
I love seeing coaches like this get hands on. We always see clips year in and year out at the combine, some coach getting ran over by either a running back or a tackle or some shit like this. But I love seeing Vrabes really getting in there. Nick Caserio, GM over there, he pretty much ran my pro day, so he put me through all the drills, through all the passes. So you get a little more, and obviously the Patriots went on to draft me that year. So I would definitely keep my eye on this guy going to the Patriots.
Andrew Berry just walked by. He is jacked. So is Vrabel. We don't have Aaron Glenn just walked that way.
Said, I'm not
we
taking
don't
the
know.
picture.
Go take a nap.
I'm not
baby.
taking the picture this year. I think that's what he said.
I mean, he can do whatever he wants.
He can. He's an NFL head coach.
Coach Reed's in his classic Hawaiian button down.
The real one?
I can't tell, actually.
What if he does just sit there?
I would like to say we as a program thought the Dan Hurley head-to-head thing was AI. We called. We got sources.
I believed it. I never faltered.
You're right.
Maniac. You believed it too. Yep.
I mean, it's Dan Hurley football.
I believed it. That's why it went triple platinum.
Well, I thought it was a perfect video. Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, wow,
Believable.
AI's really doing it. AI's really doing it, because it seemed to have no glitches, no flubs, and it was at the end of a very long video. The original video is like a minute long. So I was like, man, if some editor used AI to add that at the very end of that video, that'd be a great.
How is that not?
I don't know how it's not, honestly.
What is history?
That's not.
What is history of refs too? Different glasses.
I'm telling you, I think his nose was just itchy. You saw him.
I love it.
That might have been there. We don't know if that was their handshake.
Can you imagine what would have happened, though, if, like, the ref came in just, like, a little bit faster? He did. Like, he's headbutting that guy and breaking his nose.
Both of them. Both of them bleeding.
Yeah.
Automatic.
Boom, boom, boom.
He was juiced in the moment.
Wow.
Then they missed those
appreciate
two.
it. I appreciate
It's awesome.
And I love that it went the way it went, which leads us to this. We love good officiating.
Yeah.
We love refs that get it. We love refs that don't want to make it about themselves. We love refs that say, you can't, all right, you need to not. Is it worth me winning this game for this team right now?
Yeah.
And the ref deciding not to do that? We like that type of feel.
Get that unreal guy.
We like that. We need them in the NFL.
Yes.
That's the type of shit we need in the NFL. So with these negotiations that are currently happening between the refs and everybody in this building in here that has been very kind to us, very hospitable to us, and put us up in this entire situation at a different hotel.
So
nice hotel too.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice hotel.
Kind of got our own hotel over there.
Yeah.
But on that note, different hotel I've been seeing who's been staying here. Fascinating. So we certainly have we like the league. We fucking like I like the NFL. I love the NFL. I'm very grateful for the NFL for what it did for me as a player, what it did for everything. I would like to see the NFL to continue to prosper because the NFL is good for society. We're in Australia now. It's fucking good to be everywhere. It's like, this is good. This is unity. It's good for the game. The refs are a very important part of this thing. And I just hope it doesn't become what always happens in these CBA negotiations where it's just like fighting over everything and not just like maybe expanding your horizon, being like, all right, maybe better, we could do that, maybe. Because it feels like there's very heels dug in, which is every CBA. And it's like, hey, especially with what's going on with ABS right now with the umpires, it's like, I think we as a sports are ready for the advancement of officials as well.
Yeah.
And we know it's a hard job, but we're tired of having to say that. So if we can get to a point where we can all be very good and consistent at a more rapid clip, and then we can utilize their current technology as well to help it, and then we can also hear why you made the calls, that'd be big, I think, for you guys. Even though you guys think it wouldn't be good for you, I think it'd be good to hear why you made the call that you made that we never have to actually hear from. I just hope that they get to a point where this ain't going to fucking ruin the league, because it can.
Yeah.
It really can.
Yeah.
Even if it'll only be 4 games. It's like, okay, playoffs don't get decided by some game that happened week 2, week 3, week 4, some loss, some string, some fail Mary happens, and it's just completely like we can't have any of it, especially at this time. It's like we got to make sure we get this right. But it sounds like both sides are ready for war. I don't love that.
Yeah, exactly. You can hope as much as we want, and but the reality is what you just said at the end. Like in the most likely scenario, it does feel like we'll be a year with these refs they're calling up.
No.
Man, I hope it's not that long.
That's
can't be.
At
D3 high school refs that don't think they'll ever make it to the NFL.
And if they add that rule, though, that the competition committee proposed, like, hey, 1 year of a eye in the sky, Gene Steratore calling in when they're obviously wrong, then that would be a great step to, hey, when this does get done, let's keep that rule in and then help these refs even more.
I don't like that either. Honestly, as a player, like, we know it's a tough job. We talked, I think Todd mentioned it, how tough the job is, but like these are the humans, these are the guys on the field. You know, sometimes it's a field game. You don't want. I wouldn't be a fan of an ABS system, and that's even as a DB. So
that's because of pass interference with how you guys
loudly that goes both ways. If you slow down any play down the field, it's gonna look like pass interference going frame by frame. I remember the year they tried to do that bullshit.
Yeah, they were terrible.
Like
That was
I mean,
bad.
we got to have the best guys out there covering and calling the best product. Simple.
Full time, too.
Got to.
We would like you to fully focus on this. Please.
Please.
Please. We're fully. I mean, look at us.
Yeah.
And we have no outcome power.
Nope.
Okay. We don't need you selling cars.
No.
We don't need you doing insurance.
No.
Get the calls right.
We need you. We need good flags.
Yep. Great flag.
We need the best flags. We need that Team USA flag.
Yeah.
Control.
Exactly.
These guys are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Also, we need these refs to have a little moxie, too. You're talking to 50 million people, potentially. You're speaking for the game. Let's make sure that we have things going on in the spring where we're getting better at that. Hey, here's promo class. Hey, here's a little bit of this. How about we do trust falls? Okay, together, so we build up a little camaraderie, a little chemistry here. Then let's talk about it after we fuck up a game.
Callous the skin, maybe just have someone come in and just berate and yell at these guys and be really mean for them to like an hour.
Also in that session, make them scroll through tweets about them.
Yep. Yeah.
Make them see it.
Exactly.
Make them feel it. That's how you get hardened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Grow up a bit.
Remember, gotta be shirtless in a cooler.
That's right. Yeah.
Punch up in a-
Exactly. This guy's going to come in here. He's going to beat the shit out of you guys for an hour. We got to toughen you guys up, harden you up, callous you up. It's going to be okay, though. On the other side, you're going to love it.
See, we don't know if all of these will get instituted, but what we think is
brainstorming.
Can we not all have, we need the refs, but also we need the refs to want to be the greatest. Yeah. Like the hockey refs, I like them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they got going on over there, but I like them. Have you ever seen the hockey refs?
Yes.
They are the best.
I do like them. I'm starting to, I know they get a bad rap, but umps in baseball, I kind of like the umps. I met a couple at the airport. Jordan Baker. Shout out to Jordan Baker. MLB ump, been around for a long time.
We'll see what his ABS.
Yeah, TBD.
Yeah, we'll see. But look him up, please. A house. Walked up to me at the airport. I thought he was like a former coach or maybe a former teammate of mine, left tackle. Huge. But, yeah, I like the cut of those guys, Jim.
Okay, we're loading a photo right now as we speak on Jordan Baker. Stats and content. He's a 93.9% accuracy right now.
Boom. David's son.
Not bad.
Awesome.
Can we get a picture of said Jordan Baker potentially?
Let's get a height, weight.
I do believe he's probably a house. I'll tell you what, there's one ump out there who's really been getting cooked.
Uh-huh.
And Salvi's been cooking him, I think, on the most. These dudes are going to get exposed. And women, right? There's a woman ump, right?
Yeah, she got exposed pretty bad on her first call.
They said it was right down the middle.
Literally right down the middle.
Now, what happened to any ump happened to be the woman ump.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened with anybody else, I guess, with the ABS, but it happened to her. They will all be getting judged.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
By all of us. The fact that it's happening in front of 40-some thousand people.
It's awesome.
I don't know how we got to this point where it's happening, but boy, players and coaches are celebrating mightily here.
Yeah.
Because like in tennis when they do the Hawkeye thing and it's whoa.
Yeah, they all clap, waiting for the decision.
The person that's down there making that call, like, not really known.
Yeah.
Umpires, known. NFL officials, if this was somehow to happen, known.
Mm-hmm.
So the entire stadium being able to point and be like, you bum, this guy has no idea. As it's being shown up there, crazy new added element to the sport. Great. And if Salby's going to be seeing this strike zone the way he's been seeing it, I think a lot of these umps are going to be getting got around here.
Catchers are seeing it, obviously, because they have the best advantage. But catchers have been seeing it the best because obviously the pitchers are moving a lot. The batters, it's a tough angle. Catchers are if the catchers challenge it, it's most likely going to be right. But this ump for the Reds game, and Eugenio Suarez got back-to-back pitches where they said he struck out and he challenged it, and he absolutely did not strike out. But this ump was the one that took it the worst.
CB Buckner.
Yeah. CB what?
CB
Buckner.
He can't be C and B. Yeah.
No, he can't. Come on.
That's the thing, though, is like this will probably he missed a bunch of calls. Like I assume that is something where the league will go to him and be like, hey, we know it. Like it's not easy, but like this can't be happening. It just it can't. Otherwise, you're maybe we're gonna have to put you at third base and kind of just stick you down there.
I saw some ALCS game of the past.
Oh yeah,
from like 2000.
Yeah, the Marlins.
He might have been reffing that or umping that. He might have been the one because it looked like the strike zone that he'd been giving out was.
That was awesome. That was when
there wasn't a single strike.
No.
I saw a 3-minute video.
Not even close. I mean, we're talking like in the middle of the right-handed batter box for a left-handed hitter. Yeah, and just immediately too, rigging these guys up.
Is that Hernandez?
Yeah, Levon Hernandez pitching.
Legend.
One of these is curveball. Yeah, that.
Ponche. Look at the Atlanta Braves guy thinking, there's no way. What? My bat doesn't even reach out.
And you can see why guys used to get ejected because back then it's just like you motherfucker. Are you kidding me? This is 10 feet outside, but there's nothing they can do about it, and now they can.
And now it's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here. We're back here tomorrow. I feel like tomorrow is going to be a pretty wild day. I don't think the meetings are set up the same as today's are.
Okay.
With that being said, I wonder if we're allowed to drop into any of this.
The meetings?
My guess would be no, but
maybe.
That was going to be my guess, too.
You might be able to get in.
Yeah.
I feel like I would like to learn some of the stuff that they're probably...
Like if you just walked into a meeting with Big Mike and just kind of sat down in a chair.
So me and Foxy walking that way 3 different times. They said, media's not allowed here. So I think there is like a pretty strict...
Yeah, I tried to get into the Nike gifting suite.
What'd they say?
They saw my credentials. No media in here. Damn.
So we just go back without our credentials.
Take that off?
It said also a sign right there, must have credentials to enter.
Only credential I got.
Boy, it's so confident.
I'm the DC of the Colts. Let me by.
Hey, happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday,
Tony.
Happy birthday, Tone.
Thanks, Foxy.
They didn't sing in the truck.
Happy birthday, Tony. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Tone.
birthday, dear Tony. Happy birthday to you.
Gumpy song.
Yep.
Hammer Down Brothers,
Nobody else sang back there.
It's bullshit.
No. Well, Bone's still potting, so.
Wow, Bone. Tough days. I mean, you took it worse than Coach K.
Yeah, I did.
Coach K couldn't sleep. You couldn't breathe, basically. I mean, this guy was in a bad spot last night, potting all over the place. Bone, have you gotten over the fact that Duke's probably never going to do it?
Have you seen that
Paul
list of
doesn't have a
players?
mic. He didn't have anything to say, though.
Talk about a
Frog
sad
in his-
boner.
Seen that list of players that
Oh, yeah.
come
A
through
lot of
Duke?
good players.
No chips. Fucking sucks with those guys. That program. Blue blood, huh?
Thank you all for setting this up. We'll be back tomorrow. Let's get out of here. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice might change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. You think I get that officer of the law? Come on, team on you. Come on. Come on, officer.
He has no idea.
Come on.
There we go. Hell yeah.
No.
I put it up.
Keep it up there.
Put it up.
Team.
Hell yeah.
Team on three. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye. Great work, officer.